From somewhere near a taco shop, welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
What's up? Welcome to episode 121 of the Dirt Life Show. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Man, tonight we have an awesome show lined up for you guys. We got the Mint 400 recap. Insane racing last Friday and Saturday. Everybody was in Vegas partying, having a good time, and then obviously laying it down on the track. Super cool. We have some fantastic co-hosts today. To my far left, we have Sierra Romo. What's up, girl? How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Sierra actually raced the Mint 400 herself. Did very well in the Pro Turbo class. And then to my immediate left here, we got Maddie Wedeking. Unfortunately, didn't have as much luck, but still had a fantastic time at the Mint 400. What's up, girl?
How are you?
Doing awesome. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Both of you guys, I want to ask you guys this before we get our first guest, Pleasant Cook, 4x4 Barbie on. How does your body feel after such a gnarly race?
Oh, man. I'm still sore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sore. I think I'm more sore from just being so cold that last lap and just shaking because I was so cold.
Yeah.
But the course itself was super rough.
The weather changes so quick. All right, so we're going to get Pleasant Cook on here, a.k.a. 4x4 Barbie. We got tons of other good guests that are coming up. But real quick, before we get Pleasant on, you guys can all share the show. We really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. You guys have been amazing. So please share the show with all of your friends. It helps all of our guests. I mean, like the girls here, they drove, like I said, Sierra drove all the way from Las Vegas to be here. Maddie has helped with the show a bunch of times because she's trying to grow it too. So please help share it. It makes a big difference for all of the people that are on the show. So you can always check us out on Facebook and YouTube and obviously Instagram live on Mondays at 5 p.m. And anyways, you can send us a message anytime, too. Slide into our DMs. Hang out with us. The show is brought to you, by some fantastic sponsors. KMC Wheels. Got this badass KMC shirt, so thanks to the KMC guys. You can go over to wheelmerch.com, pick up some of their merchandise, and hit up 4 Wheel Parts. Buy some KMC wheels. Thank you guys at Motul. They got the Shine and Go right here. Spray this all over your car. It'll make it brand new after you race the Mint 400. Change your oil. Those guys have been a really good part of the show. Thank you guys over at Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE, buy some limit straps, a steering rack, a BSD kit. Those guys are doing amazing stuff over there at Shock Therapy. Thank you guys at EFX Tires. Thank you to the guys over at Evolution Power Sports. Making some serious power over there for your side-by-side. The guys over at Zollinger Racing Products, you can use the code TheDirtLife, buy some tie rods to match with your steering rack from Shock Therapy. Travis Zollinger is actually going to be on the show tonight, too, so it'll be cool to talk with him. Thanks to the guys over at Cryo Heat. You can get Pro Mod transmissions from those guys. I don't know if you guys run those things. They're pretty badass, man. Save a lot of weight in your Polaris RZR. And thanks to the guys over at Solderweld. You can use the code TheDirtLife at solderweld.com and get yourself an off-road repair kit. All right, so you guys want to get Pleasant Cook on?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, let's get her on.
Let's talk with her. I think she had a pretty interesting Mint 400 as well, so we'll have to see what she has to say. She also had an interesting plane flight on the way home. Have you been traveling a lot lately, either of you guys? You have, Sierra?
Yeah. I'm all over the place.
Everywhere. All right. Pleasant Cook, 4x4 Barbie. What's up, girl? Oh, she dropped off.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get her back on here in just a second. So Pleasant's been traveling. She was obviously all the way over here in Vegas. I think she lives somewhere over like in Minnesota or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Super cold. Could you guys do it? I'm not about that cold life.
No.
Not at all.
All right, so while we wait for her to come back on and join us, can you guys give us a little bit of a breakdown? You want to go first, Sierra, about your guys' Mint 400?
Yeah, the Mint 400, it was kind of a rough one. Our first lap was super clean. Going out for our second lap, we broke an axle, and so that put us down some time. After that, we were behind a lot of the turbo cars, a lot of the NA cars, so we were in so much dust. The
I
dust
can
was
only
brutal.
imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure Maddie can agree with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pushed hard and finished 9th. So
Dude, that's
made
cool.
up a lot of time.
It's crazy when you have to face all that adversity, right?
Yeah, especially in the dust.
That lap traffic was crazy.
It was.
Especially being behind because obviously I broke too. So.
It was kind of hard to see on the live stream. All right, we got Pleasant Cook, a.k.a. 4x4 Barbie on again. What's up, girl?
Hi, sorry guys, it cut me off real weird, so I had to cancel out of it and retry.
No worries, you're good. We can see you good now. So Instagram sometimes is really finicky, so I appreciate you joining us. Man, you've been traveling a lot after the Mint.
Yeah, I actually fly out the next morning and go to Dallas for a wedding. So I've been traveling pretty much ever since. Had to fly back today. I just got back into Minnesota, so.
How sore were you going to that wedding?
Oh, it was bad. I have like a really big bruise on my arm too, so I was like trying to cover up with makeup. Just like awkwardly like trying to walk around there in heels, like not falling.
I still saw you getting down on the dance floor. I saw videos.
Yeah,
you were
I
having
saw
a good time.
Yeah. I played it off well, guys.
Make it till you make it.
Hey, so give us a little bit of an understanding how good it was to be at was that your first Mint 400?
Yeah, that was my first Mint 400 that I drove in. Yeah, I got to co-drive like 3 or 4 years ago with Bold Racing, and it was a lot of fun. So that was my first one I got to drive in.
Dude, that sounds super cool though. Was the track a lot different than you expected?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had more rocks than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of rocks in that, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So.
Was it the longest race that you've ever been in? I know you've done other stuff, like actually I know that you've traveled across the country because I'm a little bit jealous of that, but what about racing? Is this the longest one?
Yeah, this is the longest one I've been in so far.
Dude.
I did like, I think 50 miles of the Vegas to Reno a couple years ago, co-driving as well with Bold Racing, and we ended up breaking around like mile 50 or something. So technically this was the longest race I've been in, so.
Dude, it gives me the chills. Like, I was actually getting chills on the live stream, and thank you, Bob Bauer. He was part of the live stream crew. Thanks for commenting in, buddy. It still gives me chills to see, like, the areas of the track that you guys were going down when, actually, like, across the lake bed, because it was like, I mean, it almost looked like you guys were driving in heaven, like the clouds and the dust. Like, how did it feel on course?
It felt like a movie.
Yeah,
was
it does.
crazy.
The lake bed's my favorite part because that is like the smoothest part. So you go from getting beat up for 90 miles and then you hit the lake bed, and that's the time.
Oh, it's
where
like take a break?
It's just
Yeah.
you to take a break.
But you're still doing like 90-something miles an
yeah,
hour.
right? I hit 102 and I was stoked, and then Matt and I were in the passenger seat.
That actually brings up two good questions for me. So, Pleasant, you are like used to doing a little bit slower driving sometimes, you know, if you go down south or like in the mud or rocks or whatever. So this is a little different for you?
Yeah, I do like the short course racing as well, but I think in like the straightaways, we only get up to like 50 or 60. We're not going like extremely fast just because there's not a whole lot of space to get like to really pick up speed. But yeah, so it's probably the fastest race I've been in as well.
That's crazy. And then so what I was going to say is like that's the time that you can like take a break, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Isn't that insane going, let's just say 70, 90 miles an hour, whatever the cars are able to go? But that's like when you have time to breathe.
Yeah, take a break at 100 miles an hour, take a drink,
That's
and
the most
chill.
relaxing part.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like I don't know in what it's called in grammar when you say like it's like Alanis Morissette used to say, like, isn't it ironic, right? Like
Yeah.
you're taking a break,
Yeah.
but you're going 90 miles an
Yeah.
hour. Like,
We
holy
consider that our break.
Yeah.
dude, it's crazy. Is that when you guys get like? Go ahead, Pleasant.
Like high like nerve spot, and you're like kind of breathing in it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, totally. Is that when you guys get the chance to like drink or eat or like what's the move when you guys are going down the lake bed?
Definitely take a drink because the rest of the course, you're just getting beat up for 80 miles, so
Yeah.
you don't have a chance to take a drink.
So I'm glad that you brought that up because that was one of the questions that I was going to ask Pleasant is like, how rough was it?
I mean, it was pretty rough. Definitely not something that I'm normally used to. With like just riding trails and stuff up here, it's not like super like whipped out and stuff. But it was quite rough. I think I adapted to it pretty well. So
Yeah. Thank you to the Outlaw Series for joining us. We really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that's already commenting in. You guys should definitely comment in, hang out with us, ask Pleasant questions if you have questions for her. There was like kind of 4 basic questions that I wanted to ask most of the people that come on the show tonight. And one of them was actually, we got talking about it during the live broadcast. And actually, Pleasant, I want you to answer this one last. Maddie, how do you prepare your body physically to go into a race like that? And let me preface this by saying, when I saw everybody getting out of their cars at the finish line, everyone, not one person wasn't smoked. Every single person was completely smoked. Some dudes had to get like lifted out of their cars because their legs were so smoked. So how do you prepare yourself to best do a gnarly race like that?
I think a lot of people don't think about the physical part of this. And I go to the gym, every day. I'm doing 75 hard, so no matter what,
Dude, high
I go
five.
to the gym 2 times a day. So this was actually the best I've ever felt after a race because I drink a gallon of water a day, working out 2 times a day. I physically was there today or at the race. So I felt fine after the race, so I just work out.
You make it sound so easy, though.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? You saw me at the finish.
I mean, then again, but like I've been preparing my body for, months.
Yeah.
That's all I do is just work out, lift weights, and my endurance is high and it's up there. And
So that's one thing that I think is fantastic that you answered like that, because I think we're going to get, like, from all of these different people that we're going to have on the show tonight, I think we're going to get different answers than what you're giving now. But it really brings to light the fact that you can be prepared for something that's that gnarly.
Yeah.
So give us your take on it, Sierra.
Well, I think like Maddie was saying, exercise and diet probably plays a huge role in doing good because that was not what I did. We were so busy up until the race. My car was still kind of new, so we had to work out some last minute bugs. So we were low on sleep. I remember the night before the race, I got 2.5 hours of sleep. So the next morning when we raced, we did 400 miles, and by the time we were done, I was beat.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
that sounds
probably
terrible.
exercise and diet is definitely the key to doing good.
And, somebody like Pleasant, she has to travel all that far, right? And she has to get everything lined up. So how was it for you?
Yeah, I didn't get to work out as much as Maddie. Like Sierra, my car was pretty new as well. We still try to like kind of keep just being physically like fit or whatever, like the weeks leading up to it. We had a lot of like working on the cars, getting out the bugs, making sure everything was running properly, even like just wiring and like just little stuff like that. And then trying to get parts, of course, like going from California to Minnesota, there was definitely a lot of, hey, I'll just pick it up while I'm out there and put it on the night before kind of thing. So definitely watched like what we were eating and making sure our diet was pretty clean, like the couple days leading up to the race, and just trying to make sure like everything, like just food wise and drinking wise, like just drinking water, Gatorade, stuff like that, trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah, I know a few people actually went and got like IVs and stuff because they weren't able to get themselves hydrated enough with liquids the week before. It's so crazy to me to see that. Like, watching it on the broadcast, it was clear that I wasn't out there, but like I didn't think it was going to be that physically demanding on people's bodies until I went down there and saw people getting out of their cars. And like when I did, and I saw like the mental capacity that every driver, including, all of you guys, like had when you guys got out of the cars, I was like, holy cow, like you had to have been spent halfway through because of how much you pushed your body through to get to the point of the finish.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think I had stopped halfway and I was like, get me an energy drink. I don't care what it is. Like, so I pulled into the pits and I poured a Rockstar in my mouth. I was like, I just need something to get me through that halfway mark. And sure enough, it worked.
I
But
think it's harder on you mentally because you have to stay so focused, especially at going those high speeds that we're all going at. Like, you have to think way faster. Your reaction times have to be on point every time or else something bad will happen. So I think that all these drivers mentally are more tired.
Yeah, mentally just smoked.
Yeah.
How did you feel like during those portions of the race, Pleasant, like maybe the middle portion, 3/4 of the way through, and then at the finish?
Well, since I only did one lap, it was pretty cool, like going through the one lap. And then like after you see, like you read like the mile marker signs, I'm like, man, I've only done like 20 miles of this thing. Like it kind of takes a toll on that where you're like, I have to do this 3 more times. But yeah, just trying to kind of keep like like everybody said, like the focus, like just trying to watch, pretty much watch out for anything. I was trying to watch for rocks, trying to watch for whoops, trying to watch for anything that I possibly could to make sure that like I could keep my car together the entire time.
Yeah, so take us through that then, because a couple of the other questions I was going to ask is like your favorite moment and the sketchiest moment of the race. But let's answer the sketchiest moment because I know that you ran into some adversity.
Yeah, sketchiest moment. I hit 2 hard where like I saved both of them, and I was still pretty sketched out. Like, okay, well, try to take it slower, like just trying to kind of pace myself through it. And then on the second lap, I was in the co-driving seat, and we hit that one like little bump or whatever in the road, and just like looking at the ground, and then the sky, and then the ground, and the sky. That was probably the sketchiest moment, I would say.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
you ended up actually tipping it over or flipping it over too, right?
Yeah, no, we rolled and then barrel rolled a couple times. Like we nosedived and then barrel rolled.
Well, first and foremost, we're glad that you guys are okay. The safety crew got out there and helped you guys too, right?
Yeah, no, they were there within like minutes. Like as soon as it happened, there was another vehicle that had just wrecked, I guess, about a few minutes before us, and they ran over there and helped us out and made sure we got out of the car and we were safe. And then within minutes, the safety crew came out, helped us flip back over and pull the car off the track. So.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are safe. It's just so gnarly to hear every single racer's different story.
Oh yeah, I remember I saw you out there, and I saw your car, and I knew exactly what you had hit because the first lap I hit it too. And it was just luck of the draw. It was like this straightaway, and it had like a few whoops, and then all of a sudden there was a huge booter in the middle of it. And you're doing probably 60, 70 down that road.
And it was a booter into the face of another
booter. So it was like 2 booters in a row.
Like super weird timing.
Oh, yeah. So it would probably like buck you and then hit it again and then buck you again.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly what she did because I'm like, all of us probably did that.
Yeah. The first lap when you hit that, and I was in the dust at that time. And
You're definitely puckering.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, but I'm in a 4-seater, so it didn't feel nearly as bad for us. But they were in 2-seaters, so I couldn't imagine hitting that at speed in a 2-seat car.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
As soon you guys go by, I was like waving. I was like, "Hey, it's my friend."
Yeah, I'm like, hi.
I know. I stopped. I was like, "You okay, Barbie? How you doing?" She just gave me a thumbs up. Yeah.
That's good that you guys are such respectful racers, though. That makes me feel good to know that you guys are out there doing that. We only have a couple minutes left with you, Pleasant. But what was your favorite part of the race or favorite part of the event?
I mean, honestly, I enjoyed the entire thing. It was so much fun. It was such a different experience coming from the short course background, getting to do an endurance race like that. And I had a lot of fun. Like just even like going down the straightaways, following the highlight poles or whatever. It was just so surreal, I guess. Just kind of being out there where nobody else really normally goes and just getting to see like the views and stuff and being racing at the same time. The whole thing was super fun to me.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. The Martelli brothers put on a fantastic event. It's one of the largest, obviously, off-road racing events in the United States, but it's so well put together. Like, there's so much excitement to do. Like, there's the Fan Fest or whatever they call it, Tech and Contingency. Like, that for me is like an all-time high. But I told Matt, like, the best thing, in my opinion, is that driver meet and greet. I think they call it the grid walk, when you can go and look at all the trophy trucks and everybody can stand next to there. Dude, like that's Insta-banger heaven right there because there's so many cool things that you can see. Did you get to do that at all, Pleasant?
No, I didn't. I had to fly out, so I was at the airport whenever they're doing the grid walk, so I was pretty bummed out. But
I highly recommend doing it. I know you're a big, truck fan, so next time if you can, just check it out because you'll love looking at some of those trucks, man. They are insanely cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Big fan of trophy trucks.
Big fan right there. All right, girls, do you have any questions for Pleasant before we get our next guest on?
Oh, shoot. I don't think I have any questions. I'm just glad you're okay. I know I had wrote you after the race to see and check in if you were okay. So I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Last question then. What's next for Pleasant?
I think of my short course race. I have to go to Cranston, Wisconsin, be at the Big House. It's the first one. I believe it's in June. So pretty excited for that.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. All right, kick some butt out there, girl. We really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us.
Of course. See you guys. Good talking to you all.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. We'll see you later. All right. We're going to get the boys on with Brandon Sims and Skylar Howell. We're going to talk with them a little bit. And while we wait for them to get on. Oh, hey, guys. What's up?
What's up?
How are you guys doing? Whoa, is that snow?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I was looking at Skylar. I can't see the background good enough. All right, boys. We got Brandon Sims and Skylar Howell on. What's going on, dudes?
I'm just busy picking up the pieces of my heart right now, bud.
Dude, I can only imagine. Skylar, what's going on with you? Can you hear us, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good to go. So how's your guys' days following up after the Mint 400?
Heartbreaking.
Dude, so we tried to see if we could diagnose and mention what happened to you guys while we were on the live stream. You guys were basically, battling for the first, second, and third spot all day. And then finally you guys get there, and we thought it was a throttle body that caused an issue. What, actually happened?
Yeah, so basically we had the same issue that we ran into at Baja 1000 when we made it to race mile 1060 right there towards the end of the race. And basically for some reason, and we can't figure out exactly what's causing it yet, but the throttle body that is used in these cars is made by Bosch. And for some reason, we literally just be cruising along, and then we lost all throttle. It just goes to idle. You can't do anything. You just hit the gas, and nothing happens. So that was the issue we ran into in the two biggest races that we've done in the last 5 months, and took us out of the lead in both of them, to be honest. So it's kind of unfortunate. It's not a Polaris problem. It's I don't know. We don't know what it is, but it doesn't happen to very many of us. It just seems to be us as of lately. So it's just an unfortunate issue.
I'm just going to say it's because you're giving that much more throttle than everybody else.
Man, I was holding it to the floor that day. There's no doubt. We were that new Turbo R was working so good. We were having so much fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. The course was still rough and brutal, but the suspension on that new car is just so amazing.
So we'll talk about that. I want to definitely get into your guys' race. But just to finish up with the throttle body stuff, Maddie was shaking her head like maybe something's happened to her before, too.
I had the same exact issue at the Mint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The same
I had to go
thing?
30 miles, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the same exact issue, which was the first time I've ever had this issue. So we were all surprised.
So we should talk afterwards, Brandon. One of my buddies, his name is Paul Yaw. He runs Injector Dynamics. I think he's actually seen this same issue before. So we should talk afterwards, see if he could help you guys rectify this issue.
Brandon, are you fishing? Yeah, definitely. I'm open. No, I'm catching.
Oh, right on. So let's go a little bit into the race then. I'm really interested to see. I have a couple specific questions, like what's the sketchiest moment of the race and what was the favorite moment of the race. But leading up to it, we know you guys are always prepared when you go, but you get to the starting line, or you guys just have full confidence that you guys are going to be able to do good?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not always.
I still get lots of nerves and stuff, but we got a lot of confidence going into the races now. I know that my prep's really got, on point. And it's, we don't really have any issues when we're driving or navigating or anything. It seems like we're pretty much dialed in when that goes. There's always stuff that you have, that you can't account for. But, when you said, we're going to talk about some sketchy moments and stuff, I don't think we really had any sketchy moments in this race at all, to be honest. The biggest issue is just trying to pass, in the dust. That's the biggest, the sketchiest times we have. And we are coming up on some of those limited cars so fast because Dustin was pushing us, to basically try to, we were setting some pretty fast paces. I mean, I didn't think we were going to run that fast of a pace until I kept finding out that Dustin was right there. So that was basically every question we had was, where's Dustin? And I know that Dustin's questions was, where's Sim? So I know our pit crews were relaying to us the same info, just opposite people.
Yeah, 100%. We were actually talking about that on the live stream as well. You guys had such a fast pace going. We were actually a little bit worried, and you guys can probably expand on this. When you're going that fast, are you kind of worried about if the car's going to be able to last? Because we didn't know. We were like, man, they are really pushing it.
Yeah, definitely on that course. I know you guys can all attest to this, but that course was brutal. So it was kind of the luck of the draw. If you can hold your car together, some things you just have to pray and hope that your car is going to last to the finish. Sometimes it's luck.
Yeah, 100%. But now,
brutal.
Nowadays, Skylar, these vehicles are built so good, you can pretty much push it 90, 95% the whole race as long as you drive smooth and have good navigation.
Yeah, and I'd say, I was a little worried being that everything on that car is pretty much stock. And so we haven't really pushed that car that hard to see how well the components hold up and the suspension, the bearing carriers, ball joints. And with that being... With the car holding up at the speeds we were going, pushing through that rough of a course was pretty wicked. I mean, I don't think I've had raw shoulders from the neck brace and seatbelt in a long time.
Yeah, I saw the video Polaris posted of you guys. You guys were cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the one where Brandon just tries to jet past in a high-speed corner.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff. I enjoy that. It's it's just controlled out of control, basically. I have in my head what I want to do, but it's pretty wild. That really gets the adrenaline going though.
A couple of things that we were actually talking about during the broadcast was the amount of car control that you have, Brandon. First of all, you're a fantastic driver, but does some of that also come from Skylar? Because if it does, you guys had no radio communication is what I understood, and you guys were doing hand signals. So how does that translate in those same situations going that fast?
So yeah, well, unfortunately, like 50 miles into the race, we did lose radio communication between me and him, us and our pits. We just absolutely had no radio communication. A pin actually came out of one of the connectors, so there's really nobody to blame on that either. It's just bad luck. I'm just chalking both issues that we had up to bad luck, unfortunately. So, instantly we're trying to figure out what our options are as far as communication between the two of us. And what we came up with was, Skylar was trying to fix the radios while we were driving. He was taking pictures underneath the dash to see what exactly happened. And then I saw him messing with wires. And the next thing I know, there was smoke coming out from under the dash, and I was actually seeing some flames. So that was a little sketchy. yeah, it was. But I wasn't gonna pull over. We were killing it at that point. So,
dude, and you're not a big fan of smoke and flames.
I could see him you could tell the wires were burning his hands and stuff. So, fuck, I don't have service right here.
You're good, dude. We can still hear you.
Good?
Yeah, we can.
Well, anyway, so he was. I reached under there and I grabbed the wire and it burnt my whole hand. All the insulation for the wire came off, and so the wire that actually came out of the pin was the hot wire, so it started grounding on the frame.
Whoa!
And so it caught on fire after so long, because every speed zone I would undo my belt and try to reach down under there and get as much room as I could to try to fix it. And then I pulled the GPS up and it was sparking in my hand and there was flames. It was pretty wild.
Dude, that's so crazy what people go through during the races. Like, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys have?
I had no idea.
That's bananas.
But it happened so shitty.
Brandon, I think we can still hear you. So like the whole time, are you guys just still wooded?
We're back.
Yeah, there you go. Are you guys still wooded the whole time that you guys are fighting?
This was coming out of a speed zone, actually, and I was like trying to like mouth him that there was an electrical fire, and then he saw what I was talking about, and so he slowed down for a second, and then I kind of pulled the wires away as they were sparking to make sure that they weren't like catching on fire, and then I was like, no, just go.
Yeah,
time to waste.
Yeah, at that point you're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna have to use hand signals and go, I guess, huh?
Exactly. Yep.
Dude, it's so crazy to see. Like, and first of all, in my head, I'm thinking, like, dude, even more kudos to both of you guys for going that pace with that limited communication, because to me that's phenomenal. Like, I always think that the co-driver is so freaking important, and then taking that, like, and having it be limited like that. What do you guys think?
I couldn't imagine, and especially to run the pace that they were running up front, you rely on your co-driver at that point, and so for them to not have that ability to talk to each other is just crazy.
It's bananas, right? So
I wouldn't be able to push that hard.
What would you guys consider?
He's a good driver.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Well, I mean, a good co-driver to you too, Skylar. What was your guys' sketchiest moment of the race?
Passing the limo.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I honestly can't think of one sketchy moment that we had. There really wasn't anything that was out of control. I mean, the last Mint 400, we definitely had some sketchy moments. This race, I don't think we had a single sketchy moment.
Dude, that's
I don't
cool.
think so either. We were pretty much in control. The biggest issue was catching lap traffic and not having communication. I would still try to keep up the pace, and in the dust, I wouldn't have him being able to tell me what kind or how sharp the turns were and stuff. So that's the trickiest part to try to figure out. But other than that, we didn't really have any moments where we were out of control to a point where I was like, wow, that was close or anything. It was, we made some passes on the dry lake bed at the very end of it. I think we hit 103 and a half or 104 mile an hour on the dry lake bed, and we were making passes because I didn't want to, as it funnels down at the very end of the dry lake bed, I didn't want to be behind somebody. So we would try to make up some spots there. Other than that, I mean, we really didn't have much sketchy moments, which is good. I mean,
dude,
it's scary.
It's phenomenal that these UTVs can go that fast. Like, I still think that any UTV over 90 miles an hour is insanely fast. Dude, I can't believe you guys were going that fast. So to go back to what he was saying about limited communication with the driver and the co-driver. So if either of you guys, Sierra, you go first. If your co-driver isn't telling you, hey, we got a sharp right coming up, how the heck do you know how fast to approach it? Like, because that means that Brandon, like, it's like seeing – I don't know. It's like seeing the future almost.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't know how they did that. But I like the fact that this course was a loop, so you kind of start to memorize the course a little bit. So I'm sure that helped out a lot. But the dust and the whoops in each corner just got worse and worse and worse every single lap. So the fact that they didn't really have any sketchy moments and no communication is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that just says he's a good driver.
He's a good driver.
Dude, yeah. And what did we come home with? 4th or 5th place finish?
Looks like we got 5th. Evidently, I got my first speeding ticket in a long time.
Oh, really?
On the course.
I heard a few people got some speeding tickets, though.
I got a 10-minute penalty. I still don't even know what I did, but apparently we got a 10-minute penalty. I really still don't know what I did. It's hard without a navigator. Not that he tells me the speed the entire time, but he'll let me know if I'm going over the speed limit, and then I look over and slow us back down. But I honestly have no idea where we got our speeding ticket at, but because
I was watching it too, and I the only speed that I saw that was high was 26.5, and that was only for a quick second, and we slowed right back down to 24.
Yeah, we heard that quite a few people got speeding tickets this race too, and it wasn't just in the UTV class. It was actually in I actually heard a motorcycle guy did too. But, dude, still, kudos to you guys for doing so well, man. What was your guys' favorite portion of the track or favorite moment of the race?
By the start, when I got to watch the guy almost wad it next to me. That was pretty cool.
Oh, was that the video with the Can-Am guy just going full send?
That video was awesome.
The commentator, that was my favorite part.
What did he say again? Like, I don't remember what that's the dude that bumped into the light generator, right?
Yeah.
Yes. He did not lift.
Full send.
At the start of the race, he told me he was going to give me a run for my money. He was the first one to the corner.
I want to know, like, what your thoughts were when you're just going through the air and you see this guy, like...
Dude, he's flying right by Sky.
Yeah, and then just going straight into the generator. Like, what were your thoughts?
We actually... Brandon almost stopped. To watch what was going on because it was so entertaining.
I don't blame you.
I would have stopped.
I would have stopped too.
Dude, that's so hilarious, man.
Yeah, that was gnarly. I was able to watch the entire thing, and like I came into that corner, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna slow down. I want to watch." Pretty gnarly to look at my right shoulder and see him just flying.
There was zero way that dude could have held it like without that generator being there. I mean, he was going to go another 30 feet down the race course. And but like if we're thinking on a positive note, hell yes for that dude to go that wooded into the corner next to Brandon Sims. Like he definitely gave you a run.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he was on it for sure.
Sure as hell tried. He did good at it.
I would probably do the same thing if I started next to Brandon Sims.
Oh,
like,
Sierra would go wooded too?
The Graham liked it.
Broke the internet.
Hey, yeah, if you're breaking the internet, dude, that's awesome.
He basically won the race at that point.
No one remembers Brandon going through it. They just remember the guy next to him.
Yeah, nobody even knows it was us because I've commented on some pictures. They're like, dude, that was crazy. And they're like, yeah, didn't you see that video? I watched it from the car.
You're like, well, we're good, man. I seen it. That's awesome.
I know we have some good in-car footage because we had some GoPros on, so I can't wait to see those.
Man.
Oh, dude, that would be sick to see him just like sending it right by like a plane taking off. That'd be cool if you could overlay some music like. So, yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool portion of the race. But let's get back to the professional part of it. How gnarly was the track for you guys?
It was by far probably
rough.
the gnarliest course that we've raced in all of Baja, everything. As far as a course that just kept delivering punishment, that was probably the most brutal course we've raced for that amount of time.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad I wasn't being a sissy la because I thought it was brutal too.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Like the last
it
2
was
laps, I was
brutal.
like, okay, I think I'm done now.
Yeah.
It looked like it was
Yeah.
so gnarly. We asked Pleasant Cook, who came on just before you, we asked her what you guys, or what she did, or anybody, what do you guys do before the race to be physically able or capable to be able to maintain a full race like this? Because at the finish line, when I came up, there was so many people that their bodies were just pure smoked, like all the way out of gas.
I think Skylar drinks 4 to 6 beers a day. And doesn't do much.
Doesn't do much at all.
I, on the other hand, don't drink very much beer, and try to eat halfway healthy. And somehow I just guess I got lucky and have a good metabolism or something because
That's just the way it works.
yeah. So
And I
we actually
Go ahead. An ibuprofen 800 right in the middle of the race.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a game changer, though.
Oh, because it thins out your blood?
Oh, it brings you right back to yeah, exactly. It brings you right back to normal. You're like, oh man, all
See-
right, we can go another race.
That's probably what I'm doing wrong. I usually take it after the race when I'm already in pain and sore and can't move. So maybe
Yes.
before, during, and after.
I take mine
Yes.
before. That way, then when
Smart.
it kicks in, no more pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, we do that ibuprofen 800 at halfway point, and it really helps.
Pro tip, everybody.
Yep.
Pro tip. Brandon Sims and Skylar Howe. Pro tip. All right, so we got to jump off in about 2 minutes here. So what's next for you guys? San Felipe? Are you guys going to go down to Mexico?
Well, I'm really looking at it. I really I want to go pick up where we left off and go win a race. So man, I started looking at it today. I'm looking into it. Skylar says he doesn't have time, so I might have to trade him in for a different co-driver.
Just
This guy forces me to do so many races.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Brandon? I could be your co-driver, but I'm going to be down there with SMG. So if we can, if I'm your co-driver, maybe we can hang around Craig so I can do social media the whole time during the race, if that's cool.
Okay. Well, I just got to find a place to stay and everything else. I haven't quite looked into it yet. I asked Brett today. I was like, hey, what do you think about me going down? Because it's not even on my schedule at all to go race it. But man, I really want to now. So
Dude.
I love how that Turbo R works, and I think that Turbo R would really kill it down there in San Felipe.
That would be
You're
cool
gonna
to
have to
see.
quit
Yeah.
catching and go work on your car, bud.
Hey, believe it or not, it's ready to race. It was ready to race as soon as we finished that 400. I mean, as soon as we put that new throttle body on, it was perfectly fine again.
Ready to go, yeah. Ready to rip. Well, I know that you can call your buddy Craig. He's probably got an extra bed if you want to sleep in that at San Felipe.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys both for hanging out with us, and hopefully we do see you at San Felipe, Brandon. If not, we know Skylar will be drinking beers for us.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can't make it happen, and hopefully I can, and that way I can go play with everybody.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Hey, and really, like, honestly, man, congratulations to both of you guys for bringing that car across the finish line. I still can't tell you how impressed we were by how fast you guys were going in the circumstances that you had. So, insane job in the car.
Yeah,
Thanks-
congrats,
thanks
guys. You
again,
guys were killing
and,
it.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Guys.
All right.
All right, so as we're getting ready for our next guest to come on, we're going to get, let's see here, the Honda boys are going to come on next, Ethan Ebert and Joe Weining. But we also have some other notables that are going to come on for the rest of the show. We got Carson Wernemont. He's going to come on. We haven't talked to Carson very much. We got Rowan and Jeremy McGrath. That was her first desert race in a UTV, so it'll be pretty cool to see.
That's awesome.
Some of the stories that I kind of got a little glimpse. I told him not to tell me everything because I
I'm
want to hear.
excited.
So we can't wait to talk with her and her dad. Big dad moment at the end of the race. Big dad moment. I was so happy to see. I mean, they were smoked, but it was
Yeah.
cool to see how proud he was of his daughter. So
That's awesome.
rad to see. Travis Ollinger is going to come on, join us in a little while here. Blake Wilkie is going to come on a little bit later in the show, and then we're going to have the man of the event, Matt Martelli, going to come on and join us in a little bit here too. While we wait for the Honda guys to come on, all right, let's talk about your race a little bit, Maddie.
Well, I started 26th off the line, and that was, pretty far back. So I knew I had a lot of time to make up. And my strategy originally was just kind of, slow down the first 2 laps and get used to driving a turbo car. I'm still not used to driving a turbo car since I came from NA. So just to kind of get used to it. And then we started cooking.
We have Caden Danbury actually asked if there's any chance that we can do Are You a Smarter Than a Third Grader questions.
Why
down.
is he setting me up for failure?
I'm down.
You want me to battle Sierra real quick?
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
You got to pick the questions at the end because I haven't seen those ones.
Oh,
The one on the back?
man.
Yeah, well, some of them, like the front ones, I know those ones by heart. So do some of the ones on the back.
Wait, there's like no
You
answers
got it.
on here?
No.
No, fool. Why would I give you the answers?
Homegirl has her own sheet.
I have my own private
Oh,
sheet.
like, where is this?
Okay. Are we
Oh,
ready?
Gosh.
Wait, do you guys say go?
All right, Caden, this is for you, dude.
Caden,
like,
you're dead.
yeah, because like I'm not going to be able to answer these. I usually am the one asking these questions, buddy.
Okay. Are we ready?
Oh, gosh.
All
My
right.
co-driver's on here, too, so this should be
Oh, we're going to get shit. If we don't get these right, we're going to get so much
Oh,
shit.
my gosh.
Go ahead.
Which planet is closest to the sun?
Which planet is closest to the sun? George.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, no.
No,
It's
Sierra.
not Mercury.
Or what are you going to say? What's your answer? What's your final answer?
Mercury.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Yes! Yes!
Sierra, you didn't even guess. Do you even know any other planet but Earth?
Uranus, Venus.
Oh,
Of course, that's
perfect.
her first one. Ooh, okay. The main series of events in a story is called what?
Oh, I do know this one. Go to a different one.
Oh, you do know that answer?
Yeah, I already know that one.
It's a good thing because I didn't know that answer.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift from what country?
I already know that one, too.
Okay.
Sierra, how about Sierra? Do you even know the answer to this one?
No, I don't, but I was going to give it a shot.
Let's give
Okay.
it a shot.
Go ahead.
France.
Yes, dude,
What?
she nailed it. All right, we'll give it to her.
I'm impressed.
One-
I know. I was impressed, too. I pulled that out of nowhere.
Dude, nailed it. All right, so we're tied now.
What did colonists dump in the Boston Harbor?
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
T.
You got to say your name, though. Your name is your buzzer.
I
Oh,
sucked
Sierra.
at that, too, when I did it. It's okay. Okay, Julius
Wait, was I
Caesar.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, well, you think they jumped Starbucks in there?
I was hoping.
That would be pretty cool, right?
Are the Honda boys here yet?
No, I don't know what they're doing. I'm sending him text messages right now.
Okay, Julius Caesar was the emperor of what empire?
Oh,
Not even gonna
George.
try.
Rome.
The Roman Empire?
I don't know.
So
Is
that's
it, yeah.
that's under
I
the
mean,
same thing.
that's
Does it count or
same
no?
thing.
Is it a buzzer?
It's a half.
Okay, here we
So you
go.
got half a point.
You got half a point. George is
right.
at 1.5.
So wait, I'm beating him. Can we like keep track?
Matt, keep track.
I'm
Let's
impressed.
let's keep this going. Let's get
Okay.
let's
perfect.
give the Ethan Ebert a chance to hang out with us for a little bit, and then we'll come back to the You're Smarter Than a Third Grader. I like this. Ethan, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
All right, so let me give you a proper introduction. So Ethan Ebert is part of the Honda Off-Road Racing program. He's part of their new driver development program. And Ethan is 15 years old, and he got second place in the Pro NA class at the Mint 400. So good job, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely wasn't easy, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we were talking with the girls and obviously Brandon Sims and everybody, and the track was super gnarly. What was your opinion about it?
It was so gnarly. I mean, it was just so hard. Like, it was just rocky. It was rough. You know what I mean? You were getting beat up every which way, and it was a really rough track out there.
So you're used to racing short course, mod carts and things like that, and this is pretty much, you've only done a couple. You did the UTV World Championship, I know that, and Parker, so you've only got a couple desert races under your belt. But understanding how this desert racing stuff is going, like, are you feeling pretty comfortable with it?
Yeah, we're getting there. You know, it's definitely a way different pace from short course. While in short course, you're like, go, 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 you know, get to the finish line. But for desert, it's like chill out, just save the car, get it done, and get it to the finish line. So it's definitely really different, but we're getting used to it. That's for sure.
Right on. So hopefully we'll have Joe Whining, your co-driver, join us in a little bit here. But give us a little bit of backstory on maybe what he does in the car to kind of keep you focused on make sure that you guys cross the finish line. Because we were just talking about how important co-drivers are with Brandon Sims, and both Sierra and Maddie really rely a lot on their co-drivers. Were you doing the same thing?
For sure, yeah. I mean, he just had to. He just kept telling me, you know, keep it calm, cool down. It's only the first lap, you know what I mean? So just keep it calm. You know, you have to get it across the finish line. So yeah, he was just warning me there, just telling me, keeping the car cool, keeping me cool. You know, drink water, do all this. So yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely, I definitely relied a lot on Joe to help me there.
Yeah, and Joe's a fantastic co-driver as well. So we're gonna see if we can get him on here and hang out. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to remember how to do it, so we'll invite him and see if we can get him on. But it's good to have a really good co-driver because they can pretty much manage the race for you, and you can just focus on moving forward. Joe Whining, what's up, buddy?
Hey, gentlemen, how are you?
Dude, we're doing good, and we were just talking about Ethan about how important co-drivers were, and we actually just talked with Brandon and the girls here a little bit about it too. What do you think, because you've already had experience with some of the best names in the business. We're talking Jesse Jones. You work with Bryce Menzies. You've sat shotgun with Toby Price, and this race was completely different. I know it was really, really rough, so what was the vibe in the car with you two?
The vibe was great. Ethan and the whole Honda crew they're awesome. Really, really good people. Really well organized. They came to race. I'm typically used to being in a class one car or a trophy truck. So the UTV out there in a trophy truck style course was tough. It was really rough, really rocky, and we just kind of picked and choose our battles all day long.
So I like where you're going with that statement. Ethan, we're going to let the girls go first, Ethan, but what do you think about Joe's comment about UTV on a trophy truck style course?
I think that describes it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the whole race was just basically huge spread out whoops. And I'm like, this is perfect for trophy trucks, but for us it was like swallowing us up.
It's hard to find a rhythm for the UTVs, but then again, I think it just proves how much UTVs have evolved.
So what's the feeling though? Does it mean that you're like jumping off each bump, slamming into the next whoop? Is that what it is? Because they're too far apart, or like?
Yeah, I mean, it kind
Depends
of
on the section.
depends. Yeah.
Sometimes depending on the speed, you could find the right amount of speed depending on the length of your car. If you could stay on top of it or not. I know the two-seaters. Some of them were having issues just getting in a rhythm. So
and then your four-seater, you got a little bit more length in it. Okay, so maybe that's why Brandon Sims was so stoked, because that Turbo R that he has is a little bit longer.
Exactly. Yeah. So more wheelbase, the better.
That's crazy. And so Ethan, you're driving one of the smallest but still capable cars in the Honda. So how are you guys managing those sections?
Just going slow, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have the speed to get on top of all the whoops and being able to sit up there. But we were just taking it slow, rolling through all of them, just making the car get through it. And it was definitely really interesting not being able to get on top and just trying to flow through it. But yeah, they were huge and gnarly.
So Joe, when you guys are going through the race, you guys started out, what was it, 20-something, 30-something?
Yeah. I don't know.
So, Joe, what's the plan then when you're managing expectations for Ethan and driving through the course and all the dust and all that stuff? Are you thinking, all right, we're going to slowly work our way up through the field here and just kind of let people fall off if we manage the pace in the car?
Well, we took the first lap pretty easy just to get the course and the dangers and everything of that sort. Second lap, we started to step it up a little bit, but like I said, it's a trophy truck course, so the grooves are deep, the holes are huge, and we're in a 32-inch tire car, So the harder we seemed to try to push, the more we were hitting the bottom of the car against rocks and hooks, and like I said, you couldn't find a good rhythm in our car at that point. And we pretty much just kind of kept a good, steady pace. And when Ethan could go and we could go safely, we'd go hard.
Oh, okay.
At that time, and fortunately enough, it just patience, man. We just cruised around, and every time we tried to push, it would seem like we'd nail the bottom of the car, or we'd nip a rock or something like that, and it was just too much of a risk. Yeah,
and so what I'm hearing here, girls, is I think that experience that Joe brings to the table really helped manage the race. Like, for me, for instance, if I didn't have a person sitting next to me like that, I probably just would have beat the crap out of the car until it died, right?
Definitely.
Like, and so Ethan, am I true? Like, you started listening to Joe and was like, you know what? I really need to save the car.
Yeah, I definitely opened my ears and was like, all right, so he's definitely knows more about the car than I do, you know what I mean? He's done it a lot longer, and he's got more experience, so I was like, all right, we'll just keep it go. We'll listen to them, and yeah, I mean, it really worked out, obviously. So
yeah,
just keeping the pace.
You got to be pumped on bringing that car home in second place, man. You did a fantastic job. So, girls, like with that same understanding, were your guys' co-drivers kind of giving you the same, I don't know, level of understanding of what you guys were doing to the cars on course?
I talked to my co-driver, Matt, before, and, we go over our strategy. So our strategy was the first lap, let's take it easy. Let's go and see, what's dangerous, what's not, what we can, send it through and what we can't.
Right.
I'm already a very smooth driver. I'm pretty calm. I don't get, I get nervous at the start line, but other than that, like, I'm a very...
How many Starbucks deep does it take you to get excited?
Okay, if I could have Starbucks before a race.
Put it in your Camelback.
I've considered it. But no, I'm already a very calm driver, and I do better when I perform when I'm calm.
Yeah, 100%.
Than I do when I'm, all anxious. So, when I do get anxious every now and then when we make passes, Matt definitely calms me down.
Yeah, Matt, put your face over here real quick behind Sierra, and I'll change the camera angle real quick so everybody can see you.
Guy.
Just give us a little wave over here. Yeah, so it's really cool to hear that, though, because it makes me think like that the co-driver and the driver have to have a level of understanding before the event starts, right? Like, what you guys' goal is, and you know how you have to execute it. But like in this case, since Ethan is so young and he's only done so few desert races, he really has to be a sponge, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, one of the gnarliest desert races on the planet, and obviously in the United States, coming home second, you got to be pretty proud of yourself, dude.
It was definitely a surprise, you know what I mean? Because coming into lap 3, I think, when we were in the main pit, they were like, dude, the leader's right ahead of you. And I was like, what? We're in second place, we're actually looking at the leader. So I was like, I mean, sweet. So I kind of got antsy, but Joe was there to say, hey, calm down. We still have another lap, you know what I mean? We still have to keep going. So, yeah, no, I'm really pumped on the finish. Honda 1 and 2 on the thing was really cool as well.
Yeah, that was cool to see you and the team and everybody so excited. You guys were pretty smoked at the end of the race, though.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took a toll on my body, but my neck is still sore from the race. But, yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely really draining of my body.
Hey, Joe, what was some of the what was one of the coolest portions of the race? And then we're going to ask the adverse of that. What was one of the sketchiest moments of the race?
Oh, man. I have to say we couldn't go the pace we wanted to. We didn't quite have the setup for that big rock and that gnarly, of course. And there was several people that I bet you there was 7, 8 people that had come up on us and sounded the siren, and we pulled over and let them by. And I kept telling Ethan, dude, it's okay. Watch, we're gonna see them again. And pretty much everybody that passed within the next 15 miles was on the side of the course, had a flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because the cars could only take so much of the course, I guess, huh? Correct.
And we're probably beating the car up to get through our dust to get to us, and we let them around. And that was really reassuring. I mean, it sucked as we're getting past, no doubt about it. But we just kept going and kept going, and pretty much the highlight of the whole day. We were slightly short on fuel, so we couldn't make a full lap on fuel, so we had to stop. And that was another thing that was frustrating, but never, not a flat. Max's tires were unbelievable.
One of the guys that you guys were battling with, Caden Wells, just commented in, so he did a fantastic job too. It looked like his shocks actually had an issue as well in the rear, but it was cool to see everybody's smile on their face when they got back to the finish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to explain the vibe to the people in the audience. But, like, I saw Sierra at the finish. Unfortunately, I didn't see Maddie because I wasn't there for very long. But, like, I saw you guys at the finish. Like, the amount of energy that you guys didn't have in your bodies, it was like, how are they even standing up? Like, and Sierra was eating a sandwich, and I was like, holy cow! Once this sandwich gets like back in her body, she's probably gonna feel like $1 million. Like,
oh, definitely. And the sandwich had grease all over, and that's how much you're just exhausted. You don't care. My sandwich was, you saw, it was like almost black, and I was like, I don't even care at this point. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I just want anything that I can eat right now.
Yeah, totally. And it to me, it reminds me of like some endurance athletes and stuff. Like in the Tour de France, right when they get done, they drink a Coke, like because they need all the sugar back in their body. And we're gonna actually get Rowan and Jeremy McGrath on here in a little bit. And I saw them just exhausted, like right when I was done. Like I interviewed them real quick, and then right when I was done, I went and got them. Actually, I think Ethan, I think your crew actually got them. I got them a Gatorade and an iced tea, and they were so like, oh my God, yes,
Yeah.
like just to get back into business. So cool for the camaraderie of the off-road world, but man, I can still see it because it made me so happy that you guys exerted that much effort and control at the same time to be able to get that car to the finish in second place.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know the exact numbers of starters and finishers, but there are only many finishers. And just be able to finish a race like that, dude, it's a win in itself.
What was the sketchiest moment in your opinion, Ethan?
Definitely at night. You know what I mean? Because all those big trucks. Because we never had cleaner at night. So it was our last lap, and we were going in. I think it was like mile 60. It started to get dark, so we had to run with our lights on, and we were passing all those trucks, and all we were running was the amber lights, just so we can kind of try to see under the dark or under the dust. But yeah, I mean, it was so hard trying to get by, especially at night, wiping your visor, It's like, man, I still can't see even though I just wiped my visor. But, yeah, definitely passing the trucks was the sketchiest part.
Yeah, and vision is so crucial. Thanks, Chase Mankin, for commenting in, man. Yeah, everybody out at the Mint 400, anybody that raced that race deserves a congratulations, too. All right, we're going to let these guys go. You got any more questions for them?
Yeah, Ethan, what's next for you?
The Baja 500. So that's what
Whoa.
we're
Wow.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
yeah.
Look at this guy. He doesn't even keep.
I know.
We don't need to keep it low level here. We're going
Yeah,
straight
he
to the
went straight
top.
to Baja.
So see ya. We're going to
Jumping
Mexico.
straight in there, so it should be fun.
That sounds pretty cool. Joe, are you going to be able to attend? I don't know if Joe has a bad
At the
connection.
moment, no.
There you go.
Still sticking with the plan. Yeah, still working on stuff for overseas as I do every year, for the Australian Fink race.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's right around that
Not-
same time.
Not 100% sure exactly cooking there.
Well, we would all love to see
Exact
you at.
same weekend, yes.
We would all love to see you at Baja, but we understand that program that you have over there with Red Bull and Toby Price is pretty insane, man. So either way, we know you're going to do a good job helping out whichever program you decide to do. Ethan, that's cool, man. Again, congratulations for doing so well. And man, it's just so cool to see that you're enjoying side-by-side racing this much coming from the mod carts.
Yeah, it's definitely a different jump, But yeah, it's definitely a really worth it jump to desert.
Right on, dude. Yeah, we got to go pit bike riding soon, dude. All right, well, we appreciate both of you guys. I'm going to be in Tucson on the 24th, so I'll probably give you guys a call so we can eat tacos.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. Good luck at the next one.
Yeah, thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
You guys too.
Better go.
Dude, I still, it makes me get, excited. I'm, getting, adrenaline just thinking about all the stuff that you guys went through during the race.
Yeah, and it's
was a
crazy.
lot.
Like Brandon Sims, you would have never known that they were basically on fire, and it's a lot of that stuff is you forget it because.
Dude, and he's not a fire guy. He hates fire.
Oh, yeah. And he
Clearly.
And he got in a bad accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two of them actually. But yeah, it's just insane. It really gets me going to be able to understand all the stuff that you guys went through. All right, so finish up what you were talking about your race.
Oh, anyways, so we had worked our way up from 26th to 10th physically. Don't know where we were at on corrected time, but we were picking off people, and then my throttle body sensor stopped working.
Dude, that's so crazy that you guys both had those same issues. And when it's a defect in something that the manufacturer gets parts from a different brand, it always sucks too, because usually that's an assembly line issue and something was faulty in the assembly line stuff, and you can't even blame Bosch for it because it's just something that happens and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Ford has recalls for some of their parts on their
Yeah.
cars, that's just, it is what it is. But man, don't you wish that it didn't happen?
I mean, that's basically what took us out because, for the next 30 miles, every half mile, quarter to half mile, we had to shut the car off, turn it back on, and then keep on going. And we did that so many times, it's not even funny.
It's crazy. All right, Sierra, give us a little bit more of a rundown on your race.
Oh, I think the biggest thing that was a struggle for us was the dust. With our axle braking, we were behind the turbos, behind the NAs, and on that course, there was rocks everywhere.
Yeah,
like
you didn't want to
huge
pass in a
boulders.
sketchy spot because then it would ruin your day even more.
It was basically risk versus reward, but you knew that if you wanted to be out of the dust, you had to make those sketchy passes. Like there was no other way around it. So it was literally risk versus reward. And then next lap, you'd come around and that rock would be in the middle of the course, and then the next lap it would be like on the left hand side.
Because somebody tore it up.
So it was just like you had to be able to see the course and know where every rock was. So that was the biggest struggle, was just the dust.
And knowing when to push, because, I mean, it's not even from our own class. Obviously, we both had our own issues.
Yeah.
So the NA cars were in front of us and all the turbo cars.
And then trucks.
All
and
the lap traffic. And the lap traffic, they were heavier than us.
Yeah.
So they create more dust. And, you run up on them fast, but then you can't see what's in front of you. So
definitely
you don't want to try to go past them and then hit a rock and end your day.
It makes it sound like you guys are talking about it just has to be like the level of focus just has to be so intense.
Yeah, and I think that's why when you get to the finish line, you're just drained, like mentally, physically, everything. You're just done.
Yeah.
I know, like you came up to me and you don't even know what to say at the end of the finish because you're just mentally exhausted.
Done.
Well, we got our next guest on the horn, Carson Wernemont. What's up, dude?
Just living the dream, How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well. So I got Sierra Romo and Maddie Wedeking just hanging out, talking about the Mint 400. So we appreciate you joining. A little bit of more of an introduction. Carson actually does a lot of stuff. He builds his own cars, but he drives one of the Kawasaki KRXs in the NA class. Did a fantastic job, but unfortunately the race didn't come to you as it as planned. But you still, dude, you drove like a boss the whole time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the race didn't go our way, and we go to every race looking for that. But started off on the right foot, and we had a game plan from last year, learning the lessons and have that be our first Mint. Not really knowing what to expect really. It was really rough, and we kind of pushed a little too much in the beginning. And this year we'll go out there and go like 60-70% on the first couple laps and make sure we have a race car at the end, and then go chase them down. And it was working really good till it wasn't, because we were out front. We were setting a good pace, and had some mechanical failures there, and that took us out of the race.
Well, first I want to say, just throw a shout out to Casey Peck, my co-host. He wanted to say what's up.
Yeah, what's up, Casey? A long time no see. I used to, in a previous life or career, I guess you could say, I was a professional toy car driver and travel all over the world with Casey.
Big RC guy over here. We were talking about that on the show, on the live broadcast, when the Losi guys brought up some stuff. Like, RC cars actually teach you a lot about tuning and getting a vehicle ready, like for the events like the Mint 400, because you understand shock valving, you understand setup, you understand balance, you understand width, you understand toe, all of the camber, everything, like all these crazy things, right? So that helps you a lot in your program nowadays.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of people kind of laugh at the toy car thing, but it taught me a lot, and about prep and even the engineering side of it, because I kind of got into engineering cars and helping the companies design them. But, I mean, just a full sensor suspension, because you change cars and then you can just see what it does. So I've got a bunch of knowledge of what all that stuff does. So going to design a real car, and it was able to take a little shortcut there.
Yeah, totally. Carson, we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. I don't know if the Wi-Fi is bad or if you're on the cell phone, but maybe you could just adjust where you're at or something. But so what Carson is kind of saying is, like, it translates over. Like, when you learn something, like let's just say you learn how to write a word out, right? Well, you can type a word out faster, but you still learn how to write it, right? So it's the same kind of basic concept. So the RC cars actually do teach you a lot, and it's really cool that he's been able to translate that into the things that he does now, because not only does he race well, he builds well, he prepares well, he has a really good understanding of how to be able to manage the car during the race. Like, it's pretty cool to see all that stuff, and he's only had his program for, what, 2 or 3 years now?
I'm going on my second year right now.
Yeah, so see how new it is?
Yeah. I remember when he came into the industry and he was instantly killing it right off the back. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I was in his class, and all of a sudden he joined. He like won his first race. I was like, bro, who are you? Why are you going so fast?
Yeah, that's cool though, right? We got a new guy coming in to compete.
Yeah, right?
But that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Like if you come in prepared and you know these certain things, you can be good off the bat. Like it's just like what we were talking about before. Like you have to prepare your body for the race, but you also have to prepare your cars. I mean, you guys work tirelessly. All of you guys on the call here work tirelessly to get your cars to the race. So unfortunately, it didn't work out the way that you guys wanted, Carson, but maybe take us through a little bit of the race. I mean, you were battling with Caden Wells. You were battling with Ethan Ebert, Zach Seislove, all those guys.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you could hear me better. I'm on my cell phone because I'm not much of a technology guy.
It's way better now.
Okay. But, like I said, on the start, we kind of were like, hey, let's just kind of cruise this thing. And I wasn't driving hard at all. I was driving a lot slower than I usually like to. And we were running up front, and I was a little surprised by that. But my car handled awesome out there. I made a couple last-minute shock changes, and the thing was just eating up the bumps, and we were flying past people left and right. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, your car handles really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny how many people come up to me after the race and they're like, man, every time I got to like a whoop section, I just sweat if like I see a green car behind me because I know that thing's just going to go flying past me.
Yeah.
Well, the girls were just talking about it with Ethan right now, and they were talking about like trying to see if you can get a little bit of a rhythm. And Maddie was saying like depending on the length of the car and stuff. Like, how did you handle a lot of those big bumps where there was huge G outs? So you try to time it and like.
Yeah. So like a lot of it is timing. A lot of it's car setup, shock setup. The Kawasaki car is like a really good wheelbase. It's stock. It's 100-inch wheelbase. And then we actually lengthen it a little bit, like via trailing arms and A-arms. So ours is a little over 100. But that is like a pretty good sweet spot for like the setup of the car. And then a lot of it just comes down to driving too. I do all my testing in Barstow, which, as you guys know, is probably the worst possible terrain
Barstow made,
on. So I spent a lot of time driving in like the shittiest but
no, you can cuss on this show, dude. We're good to go.
I'm a normal person, so I do that sometimes. But
it's cool.
Shittiest conditions. And a lot of that stuff in Barstow, like all the cross grain, is a lot of timing. Like some of it you can get on top of until you see like one good G out, and then you gotta hit the brakes and check up for it, and then you could jump out of that and kind of get into the next thing. So.
And if your car is good in Barstow, it's gonna be good anywhere else.
That's it, really?
Yeah, because Barstow's gnarly. It doesn't get worse than that.
Dang. So if I ever get back, I gotta go over there and test.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's exactly why we go to Barstow. It's like if you could go to Barstow and your car works good, it will work anywhere in the world because that place is just so crappy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it's good that you guys are putting in the effort to go out testing. We asked a couple other people, like, what do you do, like, for your body, like, to be physically ready for that race? Because, like, we watched a bunch of people, dude, they were completely smoked at the end of the race.
Yeah. So I actually did a 2-dayer. So I raced Saturday, and then I rode in a Class 1 car with my buddy Doug Matag on Saturday.
Look at this guy, double duty.
Props to you, because I want to do that.
I think the only person that did more than that was Cowboy Cerrone. He did the dirt bike, the hooligan bike, and the side-by-side.
Gnarly.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from Friday's race.
Class 1 car would be pretty fun, though.
Yeah.
That guy is something else. I mean, being a professional fighter, he's obviously in top-notch shape, so I'm not in that. But I try to eat decent, and I try to go to the gym on my lunch break or after work and stuff like that a couple times a week, and drink a lot of water. Make sure you don't go to the bar till after the race on Saturday.
Yeah,
you'll be good to go.
Then you get Western, like what you said before, right?
Yep.
What was some of the what was the best portion of your race, or the best moment of your race?
Best moment of the race was definitely the first 2 laps. But for me, I really like all the rough stuff. Like when Sierra and Maddie know, like I think there's race mile like 25. You cut off, and there's like this gnarly cross grain section. There's
that
probably
place is gnarly.
3 feet deep. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 foot deep whoops. And
that's not where Pleasant wrecked, or when their car wrecked.
No, this is a totally different place.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like before the Gonzo pit. and it's just the gnarliest cross grain you've ever seen. And they're like 3 or 4 feet deep, but they're like kind of close enough. If you get a run going, you could get on top of them. And I think I passed on the first lap, past like 4 cars through there.
I think because none of us wanted to get on top of that stuff. It was just so gnarly.
Oh, that was, you took some serious cojones to do it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the first lap I said send it, and there was all these people in front of me. I'm like, ooh, I really don't want to be in front of, like, behind their dust. So I sent it, and I passed
Did
all
you?
those people there, too.
Ooh, that sounds risky.
But once you got on top of it, it wasn't as bad. I actually think it was worse when you checked up and
Matt's back over there smiling. He's like, yeah, we got this.
We were bobbing and weaving through everyone. I don't like dust, and like, you know,
What's
I just want to pass all of them.
What's the vibe in the car with your co-driver then when you're like, all right, we're gonna send it through here?
Reed's pretty quiet. He doesn't really say anything unless I do something really, really stupid.
Reed's a good guy.
He's a really good co-driver. He just is along for the ride for the most part.
And Carson's like, all right, I'm going. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can picture Reed just being super quiet the whole time and chill.
Reed's just got to be dead quiet, like, okay.
Yeah, all right, left turn.
All right,
right turn.
Did you see either of the girls out on course when you were out there?
I think I saw you in the pits, and you were out of your car, and I was trying to put together my car.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I saw you at the Gene Hurst pit, but that was after my car was already done, and I rode back there with a couple of the Kawasaki guys to pick up the rest of our pit crew.
Yeah, I saw you, and I'm like, I wonder where his car is. Like, I didn't know if you had switched driving duties or what had happened.
Air Dog just commented in and said Carson only knows 1 speed, and that's full send.
That's true.
For real.
Yep. Yeah, I think I get a little bit of a reputation for being a little bit of a wild man, but I don't know. I'm kind of a winner wad mentality.
Sometimes you gotta be. It's worked out.
It's worked out for him.
I feel like that's the way a lot of these guys are nowadays, though. Like, the UTVs have gotten so reliable that people are just pretty much just full tilt the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things too. It's like with me building all my own stuff, I kind of understand and like kind of know how tough I built my car and what parts I'm using. I know that we have the best partners and the best products on our car, so I know I can just go out there and hammer it, and stuff's going to be fine. I'm not going to break anything off. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a boost of confidence. And like I said, testing in Barstow, it's like you can test through that crappy stuff. You can pretty much go anywhere. So and I think that was another reason why I was fast through that like cross grain section, because as soon as I started to see what the bumps look like, I'm like, oh, this is exactly like my test loop bar, so I go across these same bumps.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we got this.
He's
We're
like,
good.
this is a highway for me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Man, I wish
as
that.
As soon as I turned the corner and saw that, I just like wicked the throttle.
He's like, this is nothing.
It's like shifting up a gear on a dirt bike and then just pinning it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish the Instagram would keep the comments of the live. You're getting a lot of love here, dude. So it's awesome to be able to see that you're so new into your side-by-side racing tenure, that you're getting all this love, and it's really cool to hear. Like, you're talking like an expert, that you have so much experience, but it's rad, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really, really fun journey so far, and we started this not really knowing where it was going to go. We built the car and we're like, we're just going to race Parker, actually. And then we ended up winning that, and we're like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this for real now.
Like, here we go.
Yeah, a year later, we got Kawasaki backing us and a bunch of awesome partners, and it couldn't be going any better. So unfortunately, this one didn't go as planned, but next race we'll be back, and really looking forward to that Barstow 300 race at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Martelli Brothers are going to put on.
Is that your next one?
No. So I'm going to do the whole Legacy series this year. Since my car is not legal in Best in the Desert, and then work on building a new car. And then,
I don't know if you know, but I may or may not be sitting next to a Legacy champion right here.
Yeah, I know that.
So
well, you better get like the second championship for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I got the first race under my belt. So
I did see that. Yep.
That's pretty cool to see that you guys can smile and laugh about that stuff, because it's not an easy feat to come home with a championship in any form of desert racing.
I think it's more stress than going in like winter WOD, because then you got to know, like, okay, well, shoot, I need to get this many points to maintain the championship and whatnot.
Yeah, and you have to conserve your car. That is a huge part of going for a championship.
Yeah.
Because you really got to think about the long game, right? Manny Boy actually is saying that he wants everybody here, Carson and both of you guys, to go down to Mexico and go racing.
Oh yeah.
I need a
One day.
passport first.
Is he gonna pay for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny Boy, open
if
up
it's
your
on
wallet.
Manny's card, then I'm going.
Yeah, then you
We're
guys are
in.
good. What was the sketchiest moment of your race?
I don't really have too many sketchy moments. I don't know. I don't really scare myself that often, honestly.
Oh, look at this guy, all
Wow.
full of confidence over here, right?
I have to do something pretty crazy to scare myself, honestly.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, even if you, well, in my case, tip over at the UTV World Championship in the middle of the race while leading, I wasn't scared. I was just really pissed off.
Yeah. Well, same. Even last year, last year going through the proving grounds, I caught like a turbo car, and you know that last year the dust there was absolutely horrible, and like I couldn't see anything, and got a run on this guy and saw his light, so I just pulled out of the dust real quick to pass him and just make it clean because I had such a big run on him. And as soon as I pulled out of the dust, there was like a 3 foot deep like fresh cut rain ditch,
Oh.
and I hit that thing like full throttle and like popped us up in the air and like did like a kick flip and landed like upside down. And even at that, like I was just like trying to get out of the car as fast as I can to flip it back over because I was just so mad.
Dude, that's the way the racer mentality works, though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a guy thing because I'm pretty sure I would just start crying.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sierra
really?
would start crying. That's her first resort. Me, I'd be like Hulk all of a sudden trying to lift my car up. Sierra would be in the corner crying.
Oh,
Do as
fight or
much as you
flight.
could to get back in the race. Well, it was really good to see you up there, battling obviously with all those guys. There was some serious like back and forth going on with time splits and stuff. Did you meet any of those guys actually on course that was like either Caden or the two Honda guys?
I saw no.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say because it looked like it was just time splits.
Actually, the two Honda guys, I passed them on the first lap through the rough section. Actually,
He was just saying how he took it easy in that section too.
Yeah,
That's what Ethan
exactly.
was saying.
yep, yeah. So I passed them through there, and then Caden I didn't see until I was not going forward no more, and then yeah, actually, Adrian, I saw him. He was already broke though.
So what's the plan right now then? What do you learn from the race? Is the drive home just with like your crew and everybody? Is it just like, all right, we can do this to make it better. We can do this to make it better. This is what my mistake was. Constructive criticism, or how do you guys usually do it?
Oh yeah, I was already in the shop right now making new parts.
Oh, look at him,
So-
dude.
Yeah, so my dad and I were already kind of talking about what happened, and yeah, we're tearing the car apart and already kind of know what happened, and we're making new stuff for the next time and making sure that doesn't happen because having the same failure twice isn't really in our vocabulary.
Dude, super cool to hear, right? You guys got any more questions for him? And we're going to actually have we're going to call them both your Kawasaki teammates, Rowan and Jeremy McGrath, going to come on right here after you.
Okay, nice. Yep.
So
Awesome.
you guys got any more questions for him before we let him hit the road?
One, what's your strategy going into all these races? Just
You want to
send it?
know that because you're
Like-
getting an NA car to battle against him? Is that why you're asking?
I mean, I'm considering it. I'm going to change it back to an NA car.
Honestly, my strategy is just go out there and just go as fast as I can. I mean, usually
Typical
in
dude.
usually in the beginning, I go, okay, I'm gonna just go off the line and go usually like 80%. Just like, okay, this is what I'm comfortable driving. I know I'm not hurting the car. I know I'm not driving over my head, and I'm cruising at this speed. And then usually halfway through or so, I like assess like kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
And go, okay, do I need to back it up? Do I need to go for it? Like kind of where am I?
Spoken like a true veteran, honestly, huh?
I know, right?
Super cool, man. Hey, dude, like we said before, you really crushed it out there. We're really impressed by the prowess that you have, the maturity that you have behind the steering wheel. Can't wait to see you at the next race.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, 100%, dude. We'll see you out there.
All right, we'll see ya.
Yep. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Man, like I said, though, like spoken like a true, like mature, like racer, right? Like it's so cool for me to see that, like, and understand how these guys do it. I love the fact that he doesn't care if it's constructive criticism or anything like that. He just wants to get better.
Yeah.
And that's
Like-
what makes a good racer.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that kind of same thing?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so what's the vibe for you guys on the way home? Well, Sierra had a really short drive because she was only going back to in
Yeah,
Las
her
Vegas.
20-minute drive was real
The
rough.
vibe for that drive was sleep because I was exhausted.
No, I mean, on the way home for us, I mean, we were going over what had happened, and we're already making parts to make it better and make sure that that doesn't happen again because we had more than one issue, obviously. But
Oh, cool. Yeah, so it means a lot when you actually go forward with it like that because you get an understanding of what you can do better, but you also know what you did wrong. Like you have to take responsibility and own up to the things that happen, right?
Like you said, you kind of have to be a sponge in this industry to keep getting better.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like how you do life, like
Yeah,
in general,
definitely.
right? Like the only way you can keep getting better is by making sure that you understand what was wrong in the first place. So
Yeah.
it's cool that Carson's doing that. We're gonna get Jeremy McGrath and Rowan McGrath on here and talk with her. This is going to be, in my opinion, one of my favorite interviews of the night, just because of what I saw at the end of the races. Jeremy McGrath needs no introduction. 7-time Supercross champion, we call him the king. But this interview today is going to be a little bit different for Jeremy. Jeremy rode shotgun with his daughter, fantastic UTV racer, Rowan McGrath. So welcome, Rowan and Jeremy McGrath, to the show.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
We're doing awesome, man. So I don't know how it feels for you, but you're going to have to take a back seat to your daughter today. We're going to ask her some questions and then just get your opinion of how she did.
All right, that sounds good to me.
So, Rowan, first of all, dude, congratulations on finishing one of the gnarliest desert races in the United States. Like, the look on your face, exhaustion, and the smile and the happiness that you had at the end of the race. There was every single emotion in the matter of like 10 seconds, right? Like, dude, you did so well.
Thank you.
It was super cool to see. So maybe give us a little bit of a rundown, and we'll go backwards a little bit. How did you feel at the end of the race when I was getting a video from you guys?
I was extremely tired.
That's it? You're just extremely tired, or were you like happy crossing the finish line? Because it looked like you were pretty stoked too.
Yeah, I was very excited to finish.
I don't think she's ever driven 300 miles in all of our desert trips like in one day, at the same, like right in a row. Like, so that was a big drive,
Yeah, 100%. And I spoke with your wife, Kim, a little bit, Jeremy, and she said that going into the race, you guys were a little bit unsure of what was going to happen, if she was going to drive the whole thing or how it was going to work out. So, Rowan, maybe give us a little bit of an understanding of what you guys faced out there, because I know that you guys had to get some more fuel. You weren't really prepared to go that whole distance. It was the whole deal, right?
Yeah, so we started off early that morning. We woke up and we worked on the car, made sure everything was ready to go. And then we started at about like 9.
Yeah, but let me give you a pre-story. This is some funny stuff. We leading into the race, we thought the rally class was only one lap.
Oh, crap. Hey, Jeremy, I forgot to introduce Maddie and Sierra. I don't know if Rowan already knows them or you know them.
How are you guys? Awesome.
Good. How are you?
So yeah, totally my fault. I was thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna roll in and do one lap, because we're just gonna learn the race, and just you can learn with just one lap. So I talked to Mike at VP Fuels. He gave us some cans of gas, and I go, oh yeah, I just need 20 gallons is good. We have a fuel cell in our KRX, which is 24 gallons. So I'm like, oh yeah, we're good. And thinking that we only were going to do one lap. So that's kind of the funny part. We show up and like, oh yeah, you got 3 laps. And I'm like, ooh, we don't even have enough gas for 3 laps.
Rowan, what are you thinking when your dad says that? Are you like, oh crap?
Well, I tried to tell him.
She knew the whole time.
Same, like a UTV in the Mint. And he was like, yeah, the rally class is 3 laps. Like, it's 3 laps. And I was like, it is? Because he told me 1 lap. And so I was thinking 1 lap. And then I was like, Dad, like, he said it's 3 laps. Like, I'm telling you now, it's 3 laps. And he was like, I don't think it is. Like, it's 1 lap. And we get there, and it's 3 laps.
Well, it shows you what I know.
That's a funny story in itself, right? But then, like, it also puts a little bit of light on you guys finishing, because that means that all of a sudden, like, again, this is her first long-distance desert race, we'll call it. She's on the fly now at this point. Like, you guys are having to really, like, think about it on the fly, like a true desert racer, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The funny thing is we had the VP gas. Then luckily I left some empty cans in the trailer. And so I went to the biggest gas station in the world over there in Jean, got some 91 octane. And so we had plenty of gas for the race, but then we had to rally up Brock Hager's mechanic Kevin, who was there with some other guys, and we got him to fuel us because we didn't have the apron or any of the stuff to do that. So we started kind of, behind the gun a little bit, I guess, as you'd say it. But once we took off, Rowan, how was it?
It was fun. It was kind of dusty, not too bad because the wind picked up a little bit. But the first lap, we went out, and the first 15 miles, I hit a massive rock.
Uh-oh.
And we got a flat, and so we had to fix that. But once we fixed that, everything else was pretty smooth.
Yeah, so what was that like for you? Was it like, okay, you know what? I already made a mistake. I did it quickly. That one's out of the way. I'm going to make sure that I don't make the same mistake for the rest of the race?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool that you learned so quickly. And Jeremy, was she a sponge in the car when you guys were going around the course?
Yeah, no, she has a ton of experience driving, so I didn't have to really teach that part of it. And actually, I was so proud of her at the end. The third lap, we were going hard. Like, I needed my own brake pedal over there. I was like, whoa. You know, like kind of she was making me a little nervous on the passenger side. But, you know, if you don't drive enough in the rocks or you know, narrow roads or anything like that, you don't notice that if you turn the car too far inside, the rear wheels turn even tighter, right?
Right.
So she wasn't totally aware that you need to swing the front end a little bit wider to not hit rocks. And I kind of was laughing at myself, you know, because that race is a rock race pretty much. I mean, there's rocks everywhere, but I must have said a million times over, watch the rocks, watch the rocks. You know, which is like the most dumb thing to say, but you know, I've really never been a co-driver either. So I'm kind of learning too.
How did it feel to be in the car with your dad, Rowan? Was it pretty cool and stressful at the same time, or what was the vibe?
Yeah, it was pretty good. He kept it pretty simple when he was like telling me on the GPS like where to go and everything like that. So I think it went pretty well for him being a co-driver for the first time.
So Sierra, when you've driven with your dad before, and you kind of grew up, is it kind of like looking in the mirror a little bit, seeing that Rowan's like first time getting out there?
It's so crazy. It like definitely hits home for me, just like the father-daughter dynamic. He's never co-driven for me. We've talked about it a million times, but that's a little different. But I've co-driven for him, and I know that it's like an experience of a lifetime that I'm so excited that they get to share as well.
Oh, 100%. And you too, Maddie?
No, I actually started my first 2 years of off-road racing. My dad was my co-dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was awesome. And I mean, we have more memories than, you know, anyone else. It was really cool being able to do it with your dad. And it's something he'll never forget. It's something you'll never forget. It's an awesome experience.
Yeah, I'm sure that you guys both felt that way when you guys were done with the race, that bond that you'll never, you know, relinquish after having a race like that under your belt.
You know what? I think it was an awesome experience as a dad. I mean, we get to hang a lot and drive a lot and do all kinds of off-roading and stuff together. But racing is obviously it's near and dear to my heart because I've raced my whole life. So that was a cool experience for me. You know, one of the things, and I don't know if you girls experienced it with your dads, but like I was trying to figure out how to navigate and put pressure on her without offending her. You know what I mean?
My dad, no, he really doesn't care if he hurt my feelings. He's just like, go faster. Let's go. There's someone behind you. And I'm like, okay, Dad, shoot.
Well, I think, you know, and Rowan, you can tell me this, like throughout the experience of driving, and you girls know already because you've done it a lot, but, you know, you kind of got to find the limits of what you're driving And I think Rowan in the 300 miles learned so much. I mean, our last lap I thought was awesome, except for we had a strap come loose in the back, so we had to stop. We had really good track position. It was all clear, no dust, and it was starting to get dark. And again, this goes back to me thinking we were going to do one lap. I didn't put any lights on the car, only stock lights. So I'm thinking like, oh man, Rowan, we gotta haul ass. We gotta get to the finish before dark because light. And so the funny thing is right before we entered the third lap, they kind of watered the section before you go right before the stands there.
Yeah.
So we got out ahead of this guy, and it was a turbo car, and I was like, Ron, we got to go as fast as we can go to get to the finish line because we're going to get muddy. And then if we get muddy, our lights are going to get mudded up, and then we're not going to be able to see anything. Lights. Yeah. So anyway, we made it out in front of him, but he bonsai'd past us and muddied up anyway. So
dude, it never fails, right, Rowan? It's like, oh.
Yeah. What did you think about driving in the dust? Because we drove a lot. The last lap, 40 miles in, was starting to get dark. The wind stopped.
Oh, really?
We were in the dust. So the dust stayed with us, especially after we stopped to fix the strap in the back. We lost 3 cars went by us. So we lost track position. And so we were basically in the dust for like the last 40 miles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Rowan, driving in the dust is like something that's like you have to have a certain talent to be able to do it. So how was it for you?
I really don't mind the dust that much because at the desert, our friend Carl, who also helped us at the Mint, I always ride right behind him because I'm so afraid of getting lost in the middle of the desert. And so I ride like so close to his bumper, and so I'm always in the dust, so the dust doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, but this was a whole new dust. There was that silty.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I was going to ask you, Rowan, is like when I talked to you guys right after the race, you had said, I think you or your dad had said, like, we made sure that we watched our mirrors, and then I said, yeah, but you guys also passed a bunch of people too. So like you were doing exactly what you learned in the desert, like tracking somebody super close and then, getting around them. And like, how was all that stuff for you? Because that's stuff that most people don't get to experience at such a young age.
Yeah, it was definitely a new experience for me because you're not flipping sirens on at people and trying to get around them in the middle of the desert most of the time. But once you start like realizing how to do it and like a good way to execute it, it got a lot easier as the laps went on.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And just like Jeremy, you can remember like when we were younger, we'll just say the amount that you can learn on the fly like that, right? Like you can probably see like your daughter just like listening, understanding, like learning how the car feels. Like it's just an experience that you'll never forget because it's all happening so quickly.
Yeah, you gain a wealth of information on all that stuff, and 300 miles doesn't seem like a long, mileage count, but when you're racing against other cars and like she realized that the closer you are to the bumper is the less dust you get, right? And then we also passed a ton of cars, so you had to figure out like, okay, how are we going to pass? We got on their bumper. Were they going to get out of the way? How to use the siren. So like it was both our first desert race. So it was really, really cool. I thought it was great. At least now I think for me being a co-driver and seeing her drive, like I would feel comfortable putting someone else in the co-seat now. And we have she has a sister, a younger one, Bergen, that we're going to get started next year. So then I'll be in the co-driver for that seat. And so I got some passenger seat riding coming up, but hopefully eventually I'll get my own race car again.
Hey, man, I'm telling you right now, it puts a massive smile on my face that you're dedicating the time to be able to help the girls. Like, it's so cool. Like, I know that there's satisfaction in victory on a supercross race or an off-road truck race, but it's a whole different level when you're with the girls.
Oh, yeah, and just to be able to, like, see them do it, like, it's just awesome. I can't wait to ride in the co-seat again. Obviously, I love driving too, and eventually we may be racing each other. Who knows? But
dude, how sick would that be?
Racing each other, and she's gonna want to take me down, just like I'm gonna want to take her down.
Sounds a little bit familiar.
Yeah, right. Sounds like her.
So we're just gonna, see how it goes. But we had a blast. It was super, super fun out there. The Kawasaki was awesome, and of course, this car we drove was the same exact car that I raced at Hammers 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we weren't really sure. I'm building a new Kawasaki KRX for her right now to race desert.
Oh, cool.
But it's not done. So we just took the Hammers car. We lowered the ride height, obviously, because you need a lot of height out there for the rocks. And then just did a little mini prep on the thing. Honestly, didn't even change the belt and the oil because it was brand new at Hammers. And tires on that thing, because you have to go down to 32s or 33s or whatever. So we put some new Maxxis tires on there, which at Hammers you run like the rock tires, which is Rockzilla's.
Right.
And so we switched to a desert style tire, the XT, and we just went out and ran it. So it worked out.
So
That
freaking
is-
cool.
That is awesome. So what was the most memorable part of the race for you guys?
I would say the finish, when we both realized, like, whoa, we just did that.
We didn't just do one lap. We did all three.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's funny though is you guys came across the line like at a pretty good time. Like even though Jeremy, you were talking about people passing you, but you guys passed a bunch of people, and the respectable time like that you guys finished in the rally race. What were the results here? Like I don't know what it was overall, but I think you guys came across the line in 5th or something, right? Wasn't that what I saw?
You know what? We saw that Summers Olton. I think we came across.
No, 4th. Yeah, Rowan McGrath, 4th, right here.
Yeah, and then I think we were 62nd overall, and I'm not sure how many cars there were. 150 or something. 180 or something like that. So it's pretty. Again, for not really having any expectations, we just kind of honestly we were Sunday driving the first 2 laps, like learning and like okay. We even stopped for a pee break. We're like okay. It's kind of like, okay, let's try to get to the finish line on this thing. And then like 15 miles into lap 3, our crew, like Carl, comes on the radio and goes, you guys are in 4th. You guys should stand on the gas. Maybe you can get top 3. And
At the beginning of lap 3, we were 1 minute behind 3rd. And then we had to strap the tire down, and we got stuck behind a couple cars that we're not moving off the trail, and so
that's
we ended up
also desert
finishing,
racing.
I think behind 3rd.
We lost a ton of time on lap 3 once we lost that track position because we were in the dust. So, but again, up to that point, like I was like, oh man, our lap time for this lap's going to be at least 5 minutes faster than the other. So, I was stoked. I was really proud of her. She learned so much. She became such a better driver after the 200-mile mark. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Do you have a question for him?
Yeah. What was the sketchiest moment of the race for you guys?
On the first lap, I don't know, what mile do you think we were at?
Maybe 30 or 40.
If you guys both give us the it sounds pretty sketchy.
It was scary.
So put us out there with those trucks, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that black Bronco truck? It was like a closed cab and it had like 37s on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, he came up and was pushing us on lap 1.
He hit us hard too.
Yeah,
like dented the bumper.
I didn't know even behind us because Rowan had the mirror set up for her, and so they hit us like a little bit, and I was like, "What's that?" She's all, "Whoa, there's a huge truck behind us."
Oh crap!
Yeah, I was like, "Do not lift." Whatever you throttle down wide open. Well, she did great. She kept the throttle down, and then just bailed it off in the bushes and the rocks. I was like, "Whoa, we got to work on the exit."
Well, it's scary.
Man.
We were both so scared on that.
Dude, so the learning experience on that is like when she does get her driver's license, she's on the highway, she's just going to be wooded if somebody comes up from behind her.
Well, she's driving already, so she's got that experience.
Oh, perfect.
She had a car, like a giant car right up your tailpipe like that.
It was scary. I was not ready for it.
So you didn't even see him coming like at all?
He
was
came
like
in so
dust,
fast.
and he came.
Yeah.
I don't even know like whether he didn't see our car or what, but like he came out of nowhere and just like completely nailed the back of us, and both of us go forward, and he was like, stand on the gas, stand on the gas. So I just like tried to get out of the way as best I could, but it was really scary.
You've seen all those videos like in Baja where the trucks are pushing the cars and they lift off the gas and they try to turn and then they just get rolled.
Yeah.
I was imagining that for us. I'm like, oh no, this is not it. I'm like, just stay on the gas, whatever you do.
Yeah, good thing you listen to your dad, because that's definitely the move, is to just get out and then move out of the way. Dude, I'm so proud of both of you guys. Dad for driving in the co-driver's seat, and obviously Rowan, you did a fantastic job. Like, I still can't get it out of my head how smoked you guys were, but also happy at the same time when you guys got to that finish line. It was something that I'll have in my memories for the rest of my life.
Well, thank you. That was so fun. When we went into this race, we had no idea. We didn't eat any breakfast, so we were 8 hours in the car with no food. That was another mistake.
Barely any water because we didn't want to have to get out to pee, even though.
And I did bring a bar to snack on, but if you've ever worn a helmet, try to chew a bar, your cheeks get chewed off. So.
Yeah. Here's a pro tip. Some applesauce is the best move in the race.
That's the pro tip?
Anything soft.
Yeah, literally applesauce and almond butter.
Mm-hmm.
After the race, I was thinking, the gels that you use for biking or whatever.
Yeah.
Would be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. So that's what we used to do too, is the gels for biking and stuff. So, hey, well, I'm happy that I was able to find you a Gatorade and iced tea afterwards too, because holy crap, that must have been delicious.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we have another guest that's going to come on. I want to thank you, Jeremy, obviously, for putting forth the effort with your daughter over the whole weekend. Obviously, both of you guys for coming on the show. Really excited to see what you have next, Rowan. Do you have any tips that you want to, or excuse me, any thing that you want to share with us for what you guys are going to be doing in the future?
We're just waiting right now till we finish my race car, and then once we finish that, then there will definitely be races in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get our car done pretty quick, and then that way we can race some smaller races to get a little more experience before we come out. I mean, we started pretty big with the Mint, so
Yes.
Go learn a little bit and get some more experience. And although we had a great time and we feel like we did pretty good, Rowan drove great. It was awesome. Oh. We still there's a lot to learn. We're brand new at the desert thing, and although we had a great time, we need a little more experience before we come out and try to compete again, which won't be long. We know what to do. We know how to race, so we just need to get out there and do it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I can tell you, first of all, Rowan, you have two fans right here, and you have a big fan in me. So if you guys ever have any questions and you want some girl advice, because they've been doing it for a while, you can reach out and get some advice from them. And, Jeremy, we know this dude, Carson Wernemont. He might shred a little bit, too, with that Kawasaki KRX, so he can give you some tips, too.
Yeah. Maybe we should trade tips. I can teach him how to ride a dirt bike, and he can teach me how to drive.
Yeah, I like it, dude. I like it. Hey, that's a perfect way to sign off. Rowan, do you have anybody to thank before we let you go?
Kawasaki for sure, Maxxis, Rugged Radios, VP Fuels, and the whole crew that helped us while we were there.
We have a fun little crew. So all our guys, Scott, Carl, Jeppo, Billy, we have just our guys that we hang out with. We're our kind of pit crew. We also need to thank Kevin and his guys for fueling us at the race. And of course, Kawasaki and Maxxis, has been huge for us. It's a great family partner with all the things we do, dirt bikes, UTVs, off-road trucks, our street trucks, all our stuff. So huge partner there. And, I think with the Kawasaki Maxxis program, we're going to come back. We're going to build some cool stuff and come back out strong.
Dude, yeah, totally. And Rowan, I know you want to thank Mom, Dad, and Bergen too. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You guys kick butt.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Man, it's so cool to see such a family vibe. That's literally what off-road racing is about, is to be able to spend time with family and everybody, just to have such I don't know, that experience. It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, you guys were just saying it, you know? Like, when you guys hear that, does it bring up memories like when you guys were with your dads or, like, at the track and stuff?
Oh,
Definitely. And those memories you'll never forget. Those ones, they stay with you for life for, Jeremy and her both. That's so awesome.
Yeah, and when I was racing with my dad for 2 seasons, like, it's awesome just the amount of memories we have. At my high school graduation, he actually had parts from every race. He had saved parts and wrote stories about them.
Oh my gosh.
And they were the centerpieces at my high school graduation party, and it all had stories. So it had like a piece of like a clutch and then like the story behind it at that race. And it was
No
super
way.
cool.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
that's so
talk
awesome.
about memories. All right, so our next guest on the show, our buddy, fan favorite, Travis Zollinger. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, George. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. So I have Maddie Wedeking and Sierra Romo with me. You know them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, you went to the Mint 400 with, I want to say it's somewhat of a new vehicle. Give us a little bit of an understanding of what you drove.
It's a single seat Can-Am that we've built pretty much everything on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Travis obviously operates one of the best UTV aftermarket companies with Zollinger Racing Products, building all kinds of different stuff, including a Can-Am side case right there up on the toolbox. But so he pretty much, we'll kind of call it, we'll just, for lack of a better term, built his own UTV for the races, right, with a Can-Am chassis. Went out and did really well. Like, he was hauling the mail, and some of the lap times that he produced was phenomenal. So how did the race go for you, dude?
Overall, really smooth. I'm pretty sure I bent a drive line somewhere in early in lap 2, and it made the car vibrate a little bit. And then I lost an axle boot on lap 3, and I killed a right rear on lap 4. But other than that, pretty much a clean race for the most part.
What was the gnarliest portion of the race then?
Oh. From like mile 4 to 30, probably.
Oh, that's that same section that a couple of guys have been talking about, that Carson was talking about it.
Yeah, like mile, what was that, 24, something like that.
Yep.
That section was so gnarly.
So give us a little bit of an understanding of what you were talking about, Travis.
Crosswash. It was some real shitty crosswash, and then just a lot of rocks mixed in everywhere. I call them tire killers.
Yeah.
The track's just plugged full of them.
So
sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
In that section, were you staying on top of them, or were you checking up and just kind of?
Dude, you're reading my mind. It's literally what I was going to ask
Really?
you. Yeah.
I ended up in the dust most. I know on lap 1 for sure I was in the dust, and I definitely checked up in that area. Tried to go faster on 2 and 3, and then lap 4, we didn't change the axle. I was just running on with a, and so I was trying. I pretty well cut everything back that last lap.
I mean, makes sense. Yeah.
And they were so uneven that you couldn't really get a good rhythm throughout it, because it would be like smooth and then all of a sudden a huge G out, and it was just all over the place.
Well, that makes me think that you have to have, and Travis, you can give a little bit more understanding of this, that you have to have really good throttle control to be able to make sure that you're not breaking a belt or an axle, right?
Axle, belt, all that stuff, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
And there wasn't like one good like line. Like, sometimes in the whoops, like if you stay all the way left or all the way right, and you can kind of get in a rhythm.
It just wasn't.
The only way there I could actually get in a rhythm, I mean, I was just zigzagging across the whole thing. And I actually was able to stay on top of it and control the throttle and actually be able to find a good rhythm. But it was not just one straight
What was
line.
your move, Sierra?
I was all over the place, like she said. Literally just bobbing and weaving throughout the whoops, and I was like, I hope nobody's next to me because I'm about to take them out. But I think that was just kind of the best line, is to go back and forth through them.
So, Travis, that kind of lends me to think, like what everybody else has been saying, that this is one of the roughest Mint 400 courses in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've raced 2 of them, so that's the only other one I have to compare it with. But the Mint is definitely the one of the roughest for sure.
I agree.
And this one was like one of, because I mean, well, how were you at the end of the race? Because like we were talking about, everybody else like was just smoked at the end of the race. Did you still have a little bit of energy left?
I felt pretty good. I did the Baja last November solo in a UTV.
Yeah, I still think you're insane for trying that, dude.
Yeah,
that's
for
awesome.
Doing that.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so my mind is a little bit twisted still. It's weird. Like I never would have thought that would change my perspective of things, but like it's so skewed now. But yeah, the mint went really well for me. I really want to thank the Martelli brothers for making a class so I could actually come and compete.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things is if the Mint 400 has, as a legendary race has always been something like run what you brung kind of thing, right? Yep. Like that's why you see so many cool legacy vehicles, I think is what they call them, or vintage vehicles.
Vintage, yeah.
And obviously like the hooligan bikes and all of these different things, right? And they're still trying to keep as much of that tradition alive as possible, and it was cool to see that that Travis was able to take advantage of that, because it is really neat for me, especially when you go to Tech and Contingency, to see the progression of UTVs from a manufacturer standpoint, and then all of a sudden you see it from an aftermarket standpoint like yours.
Absolutely. And it's just, I mean, I'm sure Sierra can speak to this, and Maddie as well. I mean, the UTVs in the limited class, it's pretty cool that the pro UTVs are what's leading everybody off the line. I mean, they've evolved to the fastest limited cars that are out there.
It's crazy. And I feel like every single race we're just evolving and evolving. Like we're getting faster and faster, and it's by the race now. It's not by the year.
You actually, I think you have a new car in the works too, right, Sierra?
I do, the brand new Pro R, so I'll be moving to Unlimited.
So that right there is an evolution, not just in like your program and all over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, that gets me excited to see where you go with that too.
I'm really excited.
Man, Travis, it seemed like it was such a crazy race. The girls have been asking, what was your most
memorable part of the race?
There you go.
Oh, definitely for me, I think it was either the end of lap 1 or lap 2. I got side by side with 2911, and we were across the lake bed, and we were like between 90 and 95. I bet we were both looking at our belt temps because driving off of, and I was trying to keep my nose ahead of him so that I wouldn't have to follow him in the dust for that next little section before the speed zone.
Did you get him?
Oh yeah, I got it.
There you go. Put your mind to it.
And
that brings up me overall, so I guess he got me.
Oh crap! So, but that does bring up a good point. I don't know if either of you know, but Travis was driving solo.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah, that's
especially
crazy.
in the dust, I couldn't imagine being solo, because especially knowing when to pass in the dust, because you don't know if there's a turn coming up or how tight it is.
Definitely the sketchiest part. I've definitely learned that a co-driver is a big advantage for sure, and the dust is dust and flats.
Yeah. So do you have like a GPS in the car that you're looking at?
I do. Yeah, it's off on just the right. Just to the right of my steering wheel a little bit, and yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're checking everything. You're looking belt temps, water temp, GPS, and then when you're in the dust, you're just trying to do the best you can to keep it on the track.
Yeah,
so,
he has a little bit of experience doing it in the Baja 1000 solo, but like still, like to me, it's phenomenal to be able to do that. Like I don't think I could process that much information with my eyes and my hands and everything all at once. Like I'm kind of like probably like you guys. Like I just need to look at the track and focus.
Yeah. And especially on this course, because there was rocks everywhere. You had to be so focused on the course. So to be looking down at your GPS, seeing where to go, also looking at your temperatures, like getting out, changing a flat by yourself, getting back in the car. I just can't imagine that. That's pretty crazy. That's awesome for you.
So what was like some of the funnest parts of the race then? Like, because I mean, just going to the pits and taking a break, or a battle in that 2911?
It was learning the car and learning what the car was capable of, because I come from northern Utah, and we don't have anywhere within 2.5 hours, 3 hours to go test, and so I never get to go test, and so the racetrack is testing and just learning what the car can do. So like lap 1 is like really get to know your friend, you know?
Yeah,
And then-
100%. I actually, your co-driver just commented in. I don't know if you saw that.
I couldn't see it.
Actually, Wes actually asked, have you tried lead nav with the voice activation?
Yes, 100%. So down in Baja, I purchased whoever put together those thousands of voice prompts and whatnot. And it was great. It helped me so much in the dark, especially the first night. The only problem was my exhaust fell apart down in Baja. And by the end of the race, I couldn't even tell if it was speaking. I think it switched over and started speaking Spanish.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
You're like, did you just say beer and tacos? Yes.
Cerveza. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, thanks for the pro tip, Wes. We really appreciate it. All right, so maybe give us a little bit of an understanding of how you were working through the pack, because to me that seems like it would have been the most difficult part. I mean, you're having to watch your mirrors a little bit, but you're wanting to move forward. So, like, what are you thinking when you're going through the pack? Because people were dropping like flies, first of all, but there was also some pretty fast guys in front of you.
Yeah, for sure. Just being really patient and trying to use the wind when you got chances and not take too big of risks. Not knowing what was in front of me, lap one, I just tried to be really, really conservative with when I got aggressive with things. But yeah, the later laps, lap two, I had clean air most the way around, and then lap 3 and 4. Ran up on. It's pretty scary to run up on the 11 cars.
Yeah, I can only imagine, dude. Especially in the dust, right?
Yes, that's the biggest thing that I'm always nervous of in the dust is somebody being broke down or something. My golden retriever Lars, he might be saying hi here in a minute.
Oh, that's okay. But when you're going through all that stuff, I mean, wait, actually, do you drive solo for the challenge or do you enjoy it?
That
was from Chuck Foreman over at Pro Eagle.
Yeah, I do enjoy the challenge of it for sure. And yeah, I do. And then also it's nice to peel off some extra weight on the car that you don't have to carry,
Yeah, that's true. John Lewis actually commented, and you guys both know him from Desert Squadron. He said, of course, Double Trouble, meaning you two, would laugh and say cervezas.
No.
It's cool, though, that we can understand the vibe of the whole off-road community, Travis. Like, when we were at the finish line, there was so many people that were stoked for you, laughing, cheering, saying everything like that. You guys put in a pretty big effort with your team, your crew, traveling all the way from Utah to be able to get it done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My guys, they do an awesome job, and I definitely couldn't do it without them, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So what's next on the list for you?
An Ultra 4 race in Moab is what's next.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that does sound fun, right?
When's that?
2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Pretty quick.
Oh, it's when San Felipe is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's the same weekend as San Felipe. I'm going for cervezas and tacos.
I need numbers. When is this?
When is this?
Maddie?
Yeah.
I may make a surprise appearance.
Ooh, look at you.
I love Moab.
So she's already fixing her car, getting it all ready, and now you got her all jazzed up to go, dude. Way to go, Travis.
I think I'm going to race my new Pro R in the
Ooh, there you
class.
go. That would be pretty fun. And drink cervezas?
No Starbucks.
Oh, I got you. Hey, if you know anybody at Starbucks, Travis, they're looking for a sponsorship.
We're like on our third round right now.
For real. It's sad.
All right, so you guys had some pretty good moments of the race, but if you had to pick one, what was the best moment?
Oh, definitely pulling into the finish line. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. It was so cool to see everybody at the finish line. I don't know if Sierra, Maddie, like all of you racers could understand the same vibe because you guys were so smoked, probably didn't see anybody.
Oh, yeah. If we did, I don't think we'd remember it at this point.
Yeah,
that's a blur.
That's what I mean. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's ask you the same question. How do you prepare for a race like this to get your body physically able to be able to do this? Because there was so many people that really weren't prepared.
I'm gonna get in trouble here because I worked out really hard for the Baja. I did a lot. I put a lot of time in the gym, and I've really slacked since. I haven't been back in the gym. I raced King of Hammers, and I did both the desert race and the rock race, and did a lot of pre-running. So yeah, that's about it. I really need to get my butt back in and get back to working out.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you get your butt into the gym. We got Blake Wilkie coming up, but we do appreciate it, man. You did a fantastic job out there. We like how you're progressing the industry as a whole with your company, Zollinger Racing Products, but I like that you're having fun out there and really celebrating it with all your employees, your family, and your friends.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Dude, no problem. Thank these girls, man. They're the ones creating all the laughs over here.
Guys.
All right,
Awesome.
thanks, Travis.
Bye, Travis.
We'll see you
Bye,
later.
Travis.
Yep, see it.
All right, so we'll give Blake Wilkie a little bit of time to see if he can jump on.
He's got to brush his hair first.
I say we do some more questions because I'm up right now. So.
Oh, you want you big winner over here or what?
Still stoked that she won.
I'm up by half a point.
All right, let's see how things go over here. Why Travis logs off, and then we'll get Blake on.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Oh, I'm not going to say the right thing. I have it in my head. It's not. Oh, Da Vinci. I was going to say Rembrandt. George Da Vinci.
I thought your name was Da Vinci for a second, but yes, you're correct.
Yes. I was going to say Rembrandt at first.
I don't even know who that is.
Neither do I, but I know it's an artist. So am I up or am I tied?
You guys are tied now.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I guess he's up like by half a point.
Okay, what's the next question?
Okay, that's an easy question. Ooh.
Oh, you're going through all the questions now? What, are you better at math or history?
Math.
Oh, then do a math question.
Do a math question?
Yeah.
I didn't say I was good at it. I said I was better than history.
Hit us with a math question.
25 times 3.
75.
Oh, George. Oh.
Dang it, Sierra.
She got it already.
Got it. Okay, you got it. I feel like that one was pretty easy.
Okay, it took me a second, but I got it.
I was busy trying to get Blake on.
Okay, ready? Here's another one.
Okay.
3 times 0 plus 1.
4.
Sierra. You didn't say George.
You didn't say George, so,
it doesn't count.
It's
okay.
1.
Yeah. And you were wrong, yeah.
3, what was it again?
3 times 0 plus 1.
Dude, she's wasting me. All right, let's ask one more question.
I totally made that one up.
Is there a game?
That was impressive.
Tie? No, she's already way ahead of me. I don't even need a tiebreaker. I have to get like 2 questions.
Yeah,
right?
you do have to get 2 questions.
Woo, this is getting
But
intense.
What is the first animal to go into orbit?
Animal?
Yeah, George.
Huh.
Dog.
Hey, you right.
Oh, good. I'm catching up. Thank goodness.
You still need one more point, I think.
That was just a guess, though. I was going to say mini horse, but
Mini horse?
I figured that would be kind of gnarly.
I thought it would have been like an ape or something. Or like
I
a
would have thought
monkey.
ape. Maybe. Is there a movie about that?
Oh, yeah, where there's a
Planet
monkey or whatever.
Apes?
Yeah.
That's probably why we thought that.
Yeah.
All right, give me another or give us another question.
I feel like I should.
So we're
look
tied
something
right
up.
now,
Are we?
I think.
Oh. Okay, if you mix blue and yellow together, what color does it make?
Sierra.
Oh, go ahead.
Green.
I'm surprised you knew that.
You have no faith in me.
Whoa. Dude, them is fighting words. All right, give us a couple more.
What's the term for a baby goat?
Oh, I know. I know this one. George.
Okay.
Kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A kid?
Yeah. It's called a kid.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was a calf at first, but it wasn't.
That's cow.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? How many valves are there in the human heart?
Oh, dude, I remember this one too. George.
Yes.
No. Yeah, 4.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer is 4.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, good, because it's right.
Oh, thank God. You had me so stressed out. I was thinking it was 3, and I was like, wait a minute. Please be
I'm
right.
like, wait, I have a chance at this. I don't know the answer, but I'm going to guess.
Well, that's how Ronnie and RJ did it together. Like, they didn't even care about the right answer. They just say their name first because that means that they get the opportunity
And
first.
then you think about the answer.
That's what they were saying.
It's
So
not a bad. I'm going to look up some.
you're going to try to see if you can get some harder questions?
Yeah. Because I feel like you knew the answers to these.
Those ones I didn't. Well, one of them I did. The kid one, because that's what Caden told me the whole thing. The goat one.
The goat one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was kind of like halfway cheating.
What about these rapid fire Q&As?
Well, we can ask these people. We just haven't had enough time.
Okay.
So if you want to just have a rapid fire Q&A and not talk about the mint, we can. But
Wait. No, just between us real quick. Tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos. I'm Mexican.
yeah, well, clearly I'm going to pick tacos. But I've been on a hot dog kick lately.
Really?
Yeah, like pretty hard. There's this place called Dirt Dogs on Fremont Street in Vegas, and I got to go for the first time. It was delicious.
I've never even heard of that place.
Yeah.
Bro, you're like from there. You should know that.
Yeah, I avoid the strip. It's
They have a
crazy
hot
down
dog called the Snoop Dog. That's what Tiffany got.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. And I was like, what is it going to sea walk onto your plate? Not very good entertainment. We need to get back to this off-road stuff, right?
Yeah, where's Balake?
I don't know. We'll see if he can come on. Matt Martelli's going to join us in a little bit here too. But let's see here. We got, I think that's it. Blake Wilkie and Matt Martelli. So if Blake can come on, we'll have him join us. Matt's also welcome to join anytime too. We can get both of them on. Wes
I feel
said,
like George is babysitting.
I don't know about that. Maybe they're babysitting me, dude.
He's just jealous because he isn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, did he want to come down? Where does Wes live?
He lives in Vegas.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
You didn't want to give him a ride?
Heck no. I spent enough time with him in the car.
Oh, is that how it works?
8 hours, 9 hours.
Most redheads bring bad luck.
Yeah.
Oh.
She didn't want to get in a car accident.
Especially this one.
Dude, burn.
She didn't want anyone to eat her nail.
So hopefully we can get Blake on. Matt, you're always welcome to come on anytime as well. So maybe Blake has been really hard at work doing a bunch of stuff, and so he might be a little, a little bit busy. But well, actually, you know what? You guys haven't had an opportunity to talk too much more about your guys' races. So what happened? Oh, like where did your car stop?
So my car stopped right outside of pit 1. And that's where my throttle body. Oh.
What?
Matt's here.
What do you mean?
Matt Martelli.
Oh, did
Right
he just ask to join?
I don't know. I just saw Matt Martelli. So
Yeah, he'll probably ask to join in just a second here. So go ahead and finish your.
Which lap was it?
that was the 3rd lap is when it decided to go. So then I had to shut off the car, keep on restarting it, go a little bit. So then finally, I just went under the dash and I unplugged the throttle pedal and plugged it back in. And then it went for like 3 minutes. And
So-
I was like, this is cool.
Did you know what it was when it was happening?
No,
Or you
no.
guys-
At first, I didn't know what was happening because we were doing pretty good. We were in 7th by then, physically. So I was like, okay, we're cooking. And then that's the 3rd lap is when I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually like start picking up speed. And then that sucked. That right when I wanted to pick up speed, that happened. So I kept on having to, stop and fix it. And then finally, we just pulled over, and then I went under the dash and tried to, unhook the throttle pedal and then hook it back up. That didn't work. And then we went to the back and saw what had happened.
So did you guys replace it and keep going, or?
Yeah, but I still had to limp it to pit 2.
Oh.
Yeah, to the second remote pit. So I lost probably an hour.
Well, that's like 30
hour
miles,
15.
huh?
Yeah, right. I
So
probably
at that
lost-
point, you're kind of just like trying to salvage whatever you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
and-
that point, you just go for a finish. And
Exactly.
Even finishing that race is such a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, because that put me back an hour and a half. Then I went into the pits, and at first we thought it was the throttle pedal. So we replaced the throttle pedal, and then I go in the 25 mile an hour to pull out, and it does it again.
Oh.
So I'm like, pull back over. Guys, come over here, help me. And so then we figured out what it really was, replaced it, and then it was fine after that. And then my exhaust actually burnt a hole through my spare tire.
Oh my
Whoa, are
gosh.
you serious?
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
some
when you were
serious
standing
heat
in
right
the
there.
course, asking anybody
Asking
for
anyone for a spare.
Dude, that's some serious heat right there.
Yeah, it was hot. So
Hey, so we have none other than the man of the weekend. Thank you very much for putting on such a fantastic race for all of us to participate in. Matt, whether we were working the event or whether we were out there on course. Matt Martelli, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I hope everybody had fun. It was it definitely kicked our asses.
Yeah, it was definitely a good weekend for sure. A lot of work from a lot of human beings to make sure that event goes down, dude. But you guys did a really great job, and even more so, we saw so many smiles on people's faces being able to compete in that awesome race.
Yeah, I mean, for us, that's what it's all about is, seeing all those people cross the finish line, with smiles on their faces and listening to all the stories of all the different battles that they had and the things they had to overcome to get to the finish line and, the good and the bad. But, everybody who completed that race needs to be really proud of themselves. It was not an easy course this year. It was long. There was a couple of rocks, I think. So
A couple of rocks.
Dude, yeah,
couple.
for real. The attrition rate was definitely different than what it normally is at the races, and I think it's because two things. I think it's because people were really hyped up, and I also think because the course was so much different.
But that's
Yeah,
what we like
absolutely.
about this race is that it's not easy, and so that's what they're saying is respect is earned 1 mile at a time. When you finish, you deserve that finish. Like, it's not fire roads, you know, or else it wouldn't mean as much if it was easier.
Dude, that's such a good statement.
absolutely.
Matt, so go ahead.
Oh, I want to hear what for the racers with you. I want to hear what they're.
It's a little bit hard to hear you, Matt. I think you got a little bit of a bad cell phone connection. We're also going to bring Blake Wilkie on. What's up, Blake? How are you, dude?
Cruising, dudes. How are you guys?
We're doing very well. We got the man, Blake Wilkie, on. We also have the man, excuse me, Matt Martelli on. And I got Sierra Romo and Maddie Wedeking to my left here. So we got a bunch of different racers that we can ask this same question to, Matt. You want to go with the girls first?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
What was the question again? Because you broke up before.
I was just asking for the racers. What was your favorite part of the race?
What do you think, Maddie? You go first.
Honestly, my favorite part of the race, besides tech and contingency, because that's cool, getting to meet the fans and having people, you know, introduce themselves and meeting just all the fans of off-road racing. Besides that part, the first 2 laps for me were my favorite part, just because there's so many different cars and you're battling out with the own people in your class the first lap, and then the second lap, then you get to see all the, you know, the bugs that are out there and the vintage cars and just like all the different types of vehicles out there. And when you pass these people or when you catch them, like, you know, like they love racing just as much as you, and just seeing all the people out there with the same passion as you is my favorite part.
You said 3 words that one of our guys on the thing here is bugs, passion, and racing. Blake Wilkie loves all of those things.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see that we're all out there racing our own race. Like, I remember seeing Blake out there, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Blake's in the lead right now, and so it was really cool to just
Did you
see
throw him a
everybody.
shout out?
I did. I'm like, hey, Blake.
Nice.
I remember passing. It was so awesome.
Hey, Blake, same question to you, dude.
I mean, it's the whole thing. It's the whole experience, especially in Vegas, the hype, the crowd, you know, getting to do the grid walk. That was super cool because, I mean, we were swamped with people, like, from the start to the finish, and they're, like, dragging people out of there so I could get in the truck. And, I mean, just seeing that kind of passion that we all see through as racers and see that kind of get transferred into, like, the fans that get to, like, have that brief moment with you on the track before, you know, the biggest, I guess, career race of my life. I think it's just such a humbling experience. And I think the grid walk is probably my favorite to get to vibe and see the stoke on the kids' faces for sure.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the behind the scenes from your GoPro as you guys were doing all that stuff. It made me really happy to see that you guys were able to interact so much. I got 2 ways to look at this, Matt, because, like, hearing it from Blake's eyes, you know, he was so stoked to see that, but also he's getting ready to get in the seat to take on, you know, let's just say 400 miles of this event. And for me, like, I was thinking, holy cow, like, I can literally touch any one of these trucks that I've, like, looked at and just googly-eyed over on Instagram, and now I can go look and walk by and do an Instabanger for any of these guys and trucks and talk with them. Like, so cool of an event.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. I mean, like, I grew up going to events, you know, both here and in the States and in Baja, and that's how I became a fan, is, you know, to touch and feel and just meet these, you know, racers. It's just, you know, it's inspiring. And so that's why we do the grid walk. We're trying to build a fan base here and give them a very special experience. I mean, there are many other forms of motorsports that do that, not in the way that we do. So I think it's rad.
Yeah, dude, super cool. Were people super stoked on the trophy bug, Blake?
Oh, the response was unreal. Like, I already knew it was, like, kind of cool and unique, and people got to follow it from start to finish. But seeing it firsthand and like just again being like swamped with fans and fellow racers, congratulating us on a good job. It was like, shit, like we made an impact, and we obviously wanted to perform better, but when we broke down at mile 66.5 right by spectator area 1, when we were getting towed off by the safety crew, we were getting towed out there with our helmets off, and I swear people were cheering for us like we won the damn race.
Nice.
And I was like, I feel like a chump, but I love all y'all.
That's cool though. For all the fans, what happened?
Dude, today's been a whirlwind. We got body panels over here. We're working at the midnight hour. I was hosing all these off, but so I got the torque converter out, and it ended up being, it's on the other side. It ended up being the input shaft of the transmission. She's split.
Oh, really?
Right there.
Oh, dang, man. So that's what
Yeah.
took you out then? Yeah, you had 0 after that.
Yeah, it was. It's a 300M shaft, but I had close calls. I had one close call. I didn't really land on the gas hard, but it's racing, dude. Even though they're brand new parts, it's just shit happens. There could have been casting flaw or material flaw, but we're gonna put a Conan billet shaft back in it and give it a go again.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that before. Like a non-Polaris part, a Bosch throttle body took Matty out of the race, and it also took Brandon Sims out of the race. It's kind of crazy because it's just random stuff that happens.
Absolutely.
A couple people were asking if the Eisenhowers were in the chat. I don't know if they are, but they're more than welcome to try to join the show if they are. I know, Blake, you were pretty pumped on those guys, beating most of the 6100s or all of the 6100 trucks with their 1400. That was pretty badass, man. Looks like Blake's having a little bit of problems with maybe his Wi-Fi or cell phone, but that was pretty cool, right, Matt?
Yeah, it was rad. That's a big win for these guys, and they deserve it. They've been working their butts off, so I was super stoked to see that. And that's one of the things I love about being on the promoter side is the variance in people winning in different classes. It's there's very few classes that are being completely dominated, so there's a lot of change up, which is cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and that's what we were talking about, right? Like the versatility and all the vehicles and stuff like that. Oh, what was your guys' favorite car that was out there? Like, not a side-by-side.
Ooh, I'd have to say the limo.
You're going with the limo?
The limo.
So the
limo was cool.
We were talking. I was talking with Gabby a little bit earlier today, but we were talking in the pits, like when we were going through the limo. I was talking with a bunch of husband and wife teams, and I was like, you know what? It'd be so cool to let the girls switch out driving, and we could sit in the back and try to drink beers and see who could actually get a beer down the quickest, like bouncing around all over the place. Would you guys be down to do that if they let us borrow the limo?
That would be so awesome.
That thing was pretty smoked at the end of the race, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. My dad said that when he was coming around, he saw them parked with chairs out.
Are you serious?
Just parked there, just chilling, having a good time. I'm like, that's what it's all about. I mean, even when you break down, they're still out there watching the race, had some chairs out. Like,
right. Every time I saw them, they were pulled over in a different
spot. I'm like, wait a minute.
Really?
They were just back there, and now they're here. Like, what? It's so
Dude,
funny.
Blake, so we were just talking about the limo cruising the track.
Yeah. Dude, that looked like so much fun. Like, I was actually talking to them, and I'm like, sometimes those stock mob-in vehicles that are not meant to be out there, that are out there, similar to my high school career with my grandma's Suzuki Sidekick. Dude, like, that is the ultimate fun because it's such a hoot, such a ride. It's very similar to the Class 11 where you're just beating the hell out of this thing, thinking that you shouldn't be doing it, but you're doing it. It makes it that much more fun.
Dude, Matt, it sounds like we just need to dedicate a whole day to just all these wacky cars, and we can clean them up afterwards. I mean, if Sunday's open, then we could just clean them all up after.
I'm in for this.
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, and that's part of the history of the Mint. Like people race RVs and sedans and tanks and all kinds of stuff. And so when Jim called me up and said, hey, what do you think? And, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And, he had Terry Madden doing all the safety stuff, so I knew it was going to be correct. And we just worked with him and said, look, we'll slide you into this this supercar class that we created when the Lamborghini was coming. You know, we know it's not going to go 4 laps, but it went a lap, and that's a victory.
Dude, massive victory. Like, we were all taking bets on how long that thing was going to last. Blake, did you think it would make a lap?
I mean, after seeing the course, because I didn't get to see the course before I knew it was going to be rough, but then when I got to see it in the Class 11 to bring that ride home, I realized how rough the course is, and I'm very surprised it made it.
We were pretty surprised too, man. All right, Blake, so let's go a little bit more into your day, we'll call it, your race day. First of all, we saw you at Tech. You had a great time, super busy, shaking hands, kissing babies, the whole deal, man. So you got to see a bunch of cool stuff, but then you wipe that off your plate, and then you get into the race day. You have 2 duties. You have Class 11, and you also have the trophy bug in the TT race, or the unlimited truck race. How was that?
The bug was fun, just as brutal. I know Justin had, I think, lost a fender, had to pull over, and the fender was gone. The bumper, he hit something, and the bumper was tucked into the tire. They had to get out and freaking yank on it and get that back going. So we saw that they had stopped for a little bit, and we were kind of bummed, like, shit, you know, thinking about what could have gone wrong. And then we see them moving again, and the whole team's morale was like, let's go. They came through first lap, dumped fuel, and then brought it back around second lap. And then I jumped in and had about an hour of daylight before it started to get dark. We were missing one of the lights that was in the front fender. Course, it was brutal. We knew we had a decent lead, so we just took it super, super casual and, you know, Sunday cruise, like we were sipping tea, getting thrown around on a bucking bowl. But yeah,
maybe that's when Sierra threw you a shout out at the same time.
Could have been. Yeah, I think I seen her go by. Was that lap 3?
Lap 3, yeah, I think it was.
Dang, you guys got some pretty good memories.
Yeah, and then saw a few other people go by, and yeah, there was some sections where I'm like, I hope no one's coming up on me, because it was, you know, just really 2-track with big built up rocky banks on the side, to where it made it really hard to pass. And as a racer, like if I was in a faster class, I'd hate to get held up. I know a couple of the other Class 11s got nerfed by some other side-by-side and stuff, and we will find you and we will pick you up.
I saw that. I saw that because the Class 11 was pretty smoked, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. I think there was like 3 or 4 incidents. And
that's messed up, dude.
We're going to start putting GoPros on some shit, I think, for the class, just so we can at least have a word or two with some of those people, because my rear deck lid's pushed in all the way to my all the way to the carburetor, where it flexed the carburetor and was rubbing on the pulley. And I know like Johnson got taken out and a couple other people, and it's like, we get it, we see you, we always put our hand up to acknowledge, you know, at the first opportunity that's safe for us not to throw our race away, we're going to get out of your way, because we're not racing the same class. We have that respect. So
yeah, 100%. And I think for the other drivers, they have to understand it a little bit more too, and understand that if you lose 3 seconds, it's not that big of a deal. You're still keeping both of the people on course. Like, it's really okay to just hang back for just a second.
And I think a lot of the UTV racers like really don't understand that, like, this is a Class 11 bug. Like, they don't have as much travel as us. Give them some time to actually get over and then pass safely. Like,
yeah, and you never know where they're at in their race too. I mean, like, they could be in the lead, and you know we're 9th, 10th place, and you don't want to take somebody else out.
It could be the exact opposite end, like what Jeremy and Rowan got, just like that huge truck just smacked in the back of them and like pushed them forward. It's the exact opposite, right? It's crazy.
Like, just have a little bit of patience and keep everybody on course.
I've been nerfed by a trophy truck before.
Whoa, really?
It was at Vegas Trail. It was the scariest moment of my life. But like, it's still like, hey, I was trying to move over, and they just, you know, if you're in a faster car, they just don't understand, or they don't get it, or they don't respect your race.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And it takes so much money to get out there. Just have a little patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, Blake, we know that you're going to be getting an understanding of who did that, and you know, probably have a couple words with them. But I mean, overall, the weekend went pretty well. I'm going to consider it a successful weekend. You went out there with the trophy bug to also try to see how well you guys could do, but you basically were shaking it down at the Mint 400, other than the little driving that you've done before.
Yeah, we had probably about 120 miles on it testing with the suspension, the reveal at King of the Hammers, and just trying different torque converters and dynoing, and had an electrical gremlin prior. But we thought we had everything figured out, and a mechanical failure ended up taking us out. Otherwise, who knows how far we could have taken it and where we would have finished with the attrition rate. So, yeah, I mean, we started off in the 8th row, so like seeing some of the legends in front of me and behind me off the start after qualifying 15th was like, hell yeah, this is exactly where we wanted to be. The dust was horrible. The first 30 miles started to open up a little bit, and I just was pretty conservative because I didn't want to throw it away trying to drive over my head through the dust. I wish we had the win that we had the day prior, but I mean, so many other people, had way worse luck. And I'm glad it happened at mile like 66 instead of like 366, because the truck's not super beat up. I mean, it has a couple scars, but everything still is super tight in it. Obviously, the input shaft's not that tight, but that was a childhood dream come true to be on that starting line with those other dudes.
Dude, yeah, I can only imagine the level of happiness that you felt being able to line up against those guys. One thing that I was going to ask Matt that you just touched on, Blake, was the attrition rate. Matt, it was such a grueling track that you couldn't really let up, and a lot of these guys in the unlimited race were just balls to the wall. But there wasn't another way to race. They had to do it, because if one guy does it, everybody has to do it. So the attrition rate was pretty, I don't know, mind-blowing maybe is the right word?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, look, this has turned into a sprint race, and it's crazy to me to think that, we were setting new lap times again, this year. And I always look at it and I'm like, you can't do it faster than we've already done it. Like, you're just going to be seconds, and they were improved lap times by, 10 minutes, so it was a lot. But I think that that's just off-road racing. It's like, whether you're on a smooth course like Vegas to Reno or on a rough course like the Mint, people get excited, they overdrive. There's some prep stuff that comes into play, and that's what makes this form of racing so rad. Is it's not easy, and even the guys with big money and lots of prep go out and things go wrong.
Yeah.
So people always ask me, they're like, hey, who do you think's going to win? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I made a good bet, and you still owe me money on who was going to finish after that in that last lap, because I just saw the position of where everybody was at, and I'm like, man, Jurgensen's, he's in the best spot. And then, he said something, I don't know if you caught it, he said, look, I knew that I couldn't, put that time on Rob Mack, but I'm going to stay in the right place if anything goes wrong, and Rob had a problem, and, Jurgensen was there to capitalize on it. So that's the name of the game in desert racing is, you've got to have a vehicle, in the last lap.
Yeah, it's crazy to even think that. And, yeah, I do owe you for that bet, so I'm going to have to buy you some tacos, buddy. But, yeah, Blake, that's crazy to think, like, what you were just talking about the attrition rate. Like, just imagine when you do get the trophy bug ready, how much more you can actually push it. Because I don't think that you would probably go out in your first race like the Mint 400 and go balls to the wall. You're probably going to go, 75, 80% for the first little while, kind of get a feel for it, and then escalate the race as you go.
Yeah, and that was our goal. We knew we were going to have dust, so let everyone kind of shake out where they were. And, I mean, look at Lofton and, Lettner, they got a couple flats right off the beginning. So our goal was to just keep it smooth and safe, and then every lap maybe turn it up a little bit as the track kind of just developed, and we didn't have to be chasing as much dust, because it was pretty single file through a lot of that stuff for some of the guys that started out kind of by where I started. And I think when we came through first pit, we were like physical, like 10th or 11th. And on corrected time, we were like 10 or 11 minutes down from the leader, supposedly, according to my pit. And that means, starting
eighth row, 7, 8 minutes behind the leader, or who was the leader at that time. We were sitting in a good spot without even having to push, but Kevin built a hell of a chassis, and that thing just eats. It's like we were just so amazed going through the stuff and how buttery it was with SCD suspension tuning on the Kings. And it's just like, it's such a like new euphoria to where like I'm all of a sudden re-addicted to off-road and getting back in that driver's seat to improve the skills and see where we can stack up again and collect data and just keep moving forward. But
isn't it cool to hear Blake talk about this? So you got a Class 11 and you have a trophy truck, right? And like both of them are complete opposites of each other. Like I know all of us here, Matt, myself, and both of you girls would love to get in a trophy truck. That'd be like a dream,
That's
right?
a dream. Yeah, that's a dream.
So I'm going to ask 2 questions. First question is, Sierra, would you do Cheetah with the purple?
Cheetah and purple. I think Cheetah goes with everything.
So you're going to put Cheetah on the side of the trophy bug?
Definitely.
There you go. So Blake, we got a girl influence. We're going to throw Cheetah on the side of the trophy bug.
Can't go wrong with it.
We can add some flair to her.
All right. And then, so like, what would you guys feel like if you were in Blake's position? Because we're going to ask Blake the same question, but like, would your heart be racing? Would you be like filled with euphoria, like he said? Like, what's the feeling when you're sitting there in a trophy truck on the line?
I would be nervous.
Yeah.
First, I would be very nervous being my first race, and then there's so many people. I mean, I was there at the start watching him take off and just looking around to see how many people there were. And like even at the grid walk, I was like looking over and seeing everything. There were so many people around Blake's car, and it is so cool to see because, obviously we've known Blake since the beginning, and my dad was one of the very first people to sponsor
Big PRP
Blake.
guy, PRP guy.
And it was just crazy, like, seeing however many years ago my dad say, oh, yeah, we're going to sponsor this guy, Blake Wilkie. Have you heard of him? Shows me the video, and I'm like, holy cow, he's crazy.
Look at Blake
and
now.
Now seeing, like, the way he's progressed, I've never heard one bad thing about Blake. And that is awesome. He's bringing so many people to the sport and so much love and passion to the sport. He's doing something right.
Yeah. I heard he does eat all the tacos, though. Is that bad or good?
That's not bad.
There you go. But what's your feeling if you were Blake sitting at the starting line, Sierra?
Oh, man, I would probably be starstruck. Racing a trophy truck, that's like a dream come true. So I probably wouldn't even know what to do with my hands. I'd probably be like, what do I do?
The light's green.
Light's green. I can't go. Like starstruck. But no, that's awesome. Just like Maddie said, he's a huge influence in the off-road community, and we're super excited to see what he can do.
Dude, Blake, so what is it like when you're sitting there and you're like realizing this dream that you're doing at the Mint 400?
Dude, it's like butterflies, and then you're just sitting there standing on the brake and on the gas at the same time, like, give me that green. And then once the green dropped, it was like, let's go. It's kind of like all those nerves go away, and it's like time to shine. And I knew that dude had a little advance on me, so the second table I sent it super hard so I could stay with him and try to square up, but he drifted outside, so I just kind of carried the line and then ate some roost. But I mean, after those first couple corners and we started to get out into the desert, it was just like kill mode, but conservative mode, like to just make it as far as we could. And I feel like all the anticipation up to that was a little nerve-wracking, because getting everything situated, pits and all this stuff to be on this level in prepping, it was just like, it's stressful. I treat it like it's a job, not like, even though it's still like my deepest passion, I still got to treat it like we're going out there to perform for our sponsors. And that's what I wanted to do. And everything was good until it wasn't. And then it was just like, it is what it is. Folks.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Matt.
You got to give yourself a ton of credit because, like, I'm just, I love you, but like the fact that a shit kid from El Cajon built a trophy truck.
Yep.
As a bug and came and raced them in 400. Dude, you already won. You know what I mean? Like, I was so happy for you. We didn't get to talk very much, but like, it's fun for me because I'm sitting there at the start line and I'm listening to the crowd go absolutely berserk. And of course, you sent it off that first jump, And I was kind of like, whoa, maybe you should just chill a little bit, But the crowd was just going crazy. So, mad respect to you just for getting there and just for starting the race. You like, not that anybody was looking at you like you couldn't do it, but you did it. And just taking the start line, I think was a huge victory, and it just shows like your level of commitment and tenacity and all the stuff you had to go through to get this done. It's incredible.
Dude, 100%. And it's literally exactly what off-road is about, dude. We love that.
And I mean, again, I couldn't do it without like, my good friends that come over here and help out like on the regular for just the pure enjoyment of each other's company and wrenching and stuff. So like I owe a lot to a lot of people such as PRP that helped me in the beginning. And I mean, these girls are wrapping their cars now and they're looking cooler than mine. So like I'm always having to keep up with these girls because they're coming out with the heat, man. I'll tell you what.
It's all about the cheetah print.
It's all about the teal and sparkles.
Big up to the graphics from the girls, dude.
You know what?
Go ahead, Matt.
I love that too. Like style is very understated, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like a lot of these vehicles they look like bass boats or something. They have terrible graphics on them. And so I'm an art guy. I'm a graphic designer by trade. So I appreciate when all of you guys, go the extra mile and create your own.
Dude, I agree 100%. The flavor is what makes it too.
Well, that's all the people see. They don't get to see you in the car.
Yeah.
It's the panels. That's all they see. So it's like you might as well make that look as good as possible and stand out in the desert regardless if there's mud on it or not.
Yeah.
What if they do like the plumber guy that's sitting on the toilet on the side where you can just see the side of his head? Like you want to go with that guy or what?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll stick to my teal.
Yeah. Hey, Blake, so we're asking a few questions with everybody. You can use the Class 11 or the Trophy Bug as for the answers, but what was the sketchiest moment of your Mint 400?
Trophy Bug. I forget what mile it was. I want to say it was around like 40-ish. There's just a bunch of like little ravines with a bunch of uneven sized bumps, and we came into one and G'd out pretty hard and launched like 6-7 feet in the air and kind of picked the front bumper. Didn't pick the front bumper. Thought we were going to. Kevin, my co-driver, was like, "Oh shit!" As soon as like we launched, and we landed. I turned into it a little. We landed. Typical, trophy track rollover. So I thought for sure it was going to be close, but turned into it just enough. And then as soon as like the front tires touched the ground, blipped the throttle and kind of launched off the second one and was able to save it. But I thought for a minute my entire mobile bank account in this TT Bug was gone. Shit.
Dude, that's off-road racing though, right? I mean, how many oh shit moments did you guys have, like
too many to count. I feel like that's the whole race is you're just puckering and you're on edge the whole time.
And Matt, I'm sure you've heard a million people say the same thing. So we're going to do two things. We're going to kind of start to wind the show down. Maddie has one last question for you, and then Sierra's got some rapid-fire questions for both you boys.
So, Blake, what's next for you?
I might actually race Battle at Prim with the Dirt Designs guys and Rob Archibald in a Class 1 car.
Whoa.
We're figuring out logistics for that. They offered me a driver's seat if we can pull it together. And so that might be next. Obviously get this TT Bug fixed, do some more testing and just lock that all in. And the Moore MP Triple Crown series that MP's putting on internally on Moore. We're going to do all that and race Crandon, I believe, with the Class 11s again, which was awesome. And Rage at the River for sure with the TT Bug, as well as Mad Media's next event in Barstow.
Yeah, that Barstow 300 is going to be super cool. You better bring your UTV out there for that one, too. You can get a little bit of track preview doing the UTV World Championship that same weekend. That'll be super fun, dude. Hey, so I just want to address, we've gotten a million people saying Douglas Allen should come on the show. You guys should direct message me. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got almost 3 hours into the show now, so we're going to wind it down a little bit here so we can get these girls home. I know Maddie's got homework, too. So, Matt and Blake, are you guys ready for some rapid-fire Q&A from Sierra Romo?
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. First one, tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos, of course.
Tacos.
Oh, all day, dude.
All of us were
That
tacos.
wasn't a shocker.
Well, wait a minute. Is it, because I've eaten a lot of tacos, but sometimes, downtown San Diego, after hitting the bars, those bacon wrap hot dogs are pretty fire.
The ones on the side of the street?
Dude, I'm telling you, that Dirt Dog place in Vegas will blow your freaking mind. They got the elote dog, the Snoop dog,
Ooh,
the
you had me
bacon
at
wrap dog.
elote.
Oh, my God. All right, what's the next one?
Okay, dunes or the river?
River. I'm gonna say river.
Okay.
I'm gonna say dunes for sure. I love them both, but I'm a dune rat.
Yeah, I'd have to side with Blake on this one.
You're going, just right
Dunes.
now, because it's a little bit hot in here, I'm going to the river today.
Changes every day.
Depends on the weather for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm indecisive. I'm a chick. What can I say?
Yeah. All right. Action shots or still shots?
Action shots or still shots?
Let's go with a simpler one. Video or photo?
Photo.
I think photos, because you can print them and hang them, and that moment in time can never be duplicated.
Dude, I like their answers.
Yeah. All right. 3-wheeler or quad?
A 3-wheeler, of course.
Duh.
I already knew the answer to that one.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Did Blake say 3-wheeler too?
Oh, yeah. He immediately.
Oh,
Immediately.
okay.
There was no hesitation.
All right.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, 100% coffee.
Oh, Blake went with tea?
Tea.
Dude, I mean, I swear, like the tea in the Middle East, in Qatar and stuff, that's my jam.
Big tea guy over here too.
Yeah.
What about you, Manny? Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Grandma's Boy.
That's a pretty good one, dude. I did not expect that, but that's awesome.
I was expecting like Blades of Glory or something from Blake.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Matt, what about you? Matt, are you still there, bud?
Sorry, I'm going in and out.
That's okay. What's your favorite movie?
Yeah, what was the question?
Go ahead and ask again.
Wow. Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner is a pretty good movie. What's your guys' favorite movie?
Ooh, I'd have to say The Art of Racing in the Rain.
That's actually a
Really?
movie?
Yeah.
That's a pretty long title.
Oh, it's a really good movie.
I'm going to have to check that
You've
one out.
never seen that?
No.
What's
Oh my
yours, Maddie?
gosh.
Or, oh, excuse me. What's yours, Maddie?
Probably Napoleon Dynamite.
Serious?
Seriously.
Can I borrow your chapstick?
Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Probably live forever.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dude, immortality, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a pretty good one. What about you, Matt?
Not quite immortality, but stopping time.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good one. Have you guys seen that movie? I forgot what it's called with Justin Timberlake, where time is your currency and you lose time and you die. Dude,
Yep.
that
Yes,
movie
yeah.
that movie was pretty heavy, dude. What's the next one, Sarah?
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube for sure.
It'll teach you something.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That is true.
Most memorable race?
The Mint 400.
I was going to say, this one's kind of a gimme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's skip to the next one because both of them are answering Mint 400.
Okay, favorite snack?
Nutter Butters.
Really? Dude, you got the girls cracking up right now. Like,
Butter Butters?
Nutter Butters?
Matt, what do
Have
you?
never had a Nutter Butter?
Oh,
Yeah, it's just not my favorite.
Like, that's definitely not a go-to.
why is it bothering you guys so much?
Because I thought he'd choose a cooler snack.
Yeah, like Gushers or something.
Yeah, like something that's like, wow.
Yeah,
Not
like
Nutter Butters.
Oh my God! All right, Matt, what's yours?
Dude, I'm not really like I grew up as like kind of a hippie kid, so like dried fruit and stuff, like kind of boring. You know what I mean?
I think that's worse than Nutter
That
Butters.
is worse.
For sure.
Oh man!
Oh man. Okay.
Wait, so tell us what your favorite snacks are. If you're gonna make fun of the boys,
Gushers.
all right, you're going Gushers. What are you going, Maddie?
Okay, actually, mine's pretty lame. Mine's like apples and almond butter.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me? All
see?
that hype. All that
Almond
hype.
butter?
I love almond butter, especially during a race. It's so good.
Put
All
a
right.
little Nutter Butter on there too. You're good.
Dude, you guys.
The almond butter on top of the
Oh
Nutter
my
Butter.
goodness. All right. What other form of racing would you like to try?
Like to try? Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I've done rally and I loved it, so I'd like to do more rally racing.
That's actually a really good one.
Yeah.
I would
Alright.
have to agree with you because it's kind of the crossover between, road and off-road, but in a rally car at excessive speeds, hauling ass and still jumping stuff.
I've gotten to drive them, but I've never raced short course. So, cruising around in LeDuc's Pro 4 would be fun.
Dude, how rad would that be? Yeah, the furthest I've got is the Casey Curry's Pro Light, and that thing was insane, so I can only imagine a Pro 4. Hey, have you guys seen those? They look like a torpedo, and they have, 60-inch tall wheels, but they're super, super skinny tires, and they race around those swamps. It's like a little swamp. Dude, those things are insane.
Send me a link.
Dude, I got to send it to you.
Text it to me.
They'll fucking blow your mind, dude. They're so crazy. It's like, what do you call your little speedboat, Blake?
The death boat?
Yeah, so it's like a death boat, but it's got, really skinny tires, like razor-cutting tires on it.
I've
Yeah,
never seen this
A
before.
boat
Dude.
with training wheels?
kind of, but it's fast as fuck, boy. All right, what's the last
Okay,
one?
last question. Chips and guacamole or fries and ketchup?
Chips and guac.
Oh, chips and guacamole.
Yeah, can't go wrong with
All day. All right, boys. Well, hey, first of all, thank you very much for spending all the time. I know you're driving, Matt. You were working. You're probably going to sleep or hibernate for a week after this. Blake, you're back at work trying to improve your program. Dude, both of you guys, I commend you for an insane weekend, an insane amount of work leading up to the Mint 400 for both of you guys. I had such a great time, so thank you, Matt. Blake, thank you for impressing all the fans and giving us something to talk about. We really, really appreciate you guys coming on the show and moving the industry forward.
Let's keep it rolling.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for racing with us. There's more races to come.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it. All right, so we'll see you boys later. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Dude, it's so insane to me. I don't know how you guys feel, but every time we have a show, after a race recap like this, you hear all the emotions from everybody, and you hear all of the things that people go through. You guys had your own weekends. You get to feel the weekends out, with all of these other people. How do you feel overall about, the whole off-road community and the racing altogether?
I'd have to say the off-road racing community is just one big family. Whether we're out there and Barbie was rolled over and Maddie stops to check on her,
Yeah.
or you go through the pits and you see everybody cheering for you and you don't even know half of them. It's just cool to see that we're one big family out there.
Yeah, when I really noticed was the one big family. I mean, obviously in racing, everyone helps each other out. But I mean, when my dad and I had gotten in that fire accident, I mean, we had everyone. I didn't know anyone. We had everyone around us, putting us out, helping my dad, helping me get out of the car. They, and they were in fire suits. Some of the people who were helping us, getting me out of the fire, they weren't even in fire suits.
Yeah, shorts probably, yeah.
These guys and girls were running to us, and they were willing, they didn't care. They were willing to get hurt. They were willing to do whatever just to help other people out. And the off-road community is, I think, unlike any other community.
Yeah,
in my
definitely.
opinion.
And just I think we interviewed, 10 or 12 people tonight. The amount of stories that we heard from just that many people, and there was 300 or even more people that were at the event, signed up, driving, experiencing it, and all the thousands of people that helped in the pits and came to watch and just experience all that. Every single person has their own story and their own gravitation towards the off-road racing, and it's just, to me, it still blows my mind how awesome the whole community is.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you have anyone from, Jeremy McGrath and his daughter, from them racing it together. I mean, then you have Blake Wilkie from, we're seeing where he started, now working his way up to the TTs. I mean, you have people all across the board at different levels of racing, and they all come together, and we all have a good time.
You actually brought up a thing, Matt. I think Matt called him a dirt kid from El Cajon.
Yeah.
Well, Sierra was a total dirt grease kid after the Mint 400 because she, her hands were so black, and she goes, "Look, I didn't even hurt my nails. They were perfect."
He said your sandwich looked like a blown out tire.
It did.
it did.
Dude, the sandwich was hurting.
Yeah.
But she was like, "It's delicious."
This is a steak right now.
Yep. It was so cool to see, but that's literally, that's off-road, right?
Yeah.
That's the epitome of off-road. Eating a dirty sandwich is no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
definitely.
It's food.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about your guys' races? And we interviewed so many people, I feel like you guys didn't get enough time.
Honestly, I like hearing everyone else's story.
I know. I think it's pretty cool to just hear everybody's races and their stories and everything that they had to overcome.
Well, let's just give a shout out to your dad because he did fantastic.
Yeah.
He worked his way from, I don't even know what it was. He was in like top 5, and then he worked his way back a little bit. I don't know if he had issues or if those other guys were just hauling the mail. And then he came all the way back up to second at when he crossed the uncorrected time at the finish line.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Randy.
Huge shout out to my dad. I mean, that guy, he puts his heart and soul into our program, and I think out of anybody, he deserved a breakthrough race, and he hasn't gotten that top spot yet, but I think this race just kind of showed everybody that he will get there. He deserves that spot. And
he's got what it takes. He's got the passion behind it. He has the work ethic behind it.
Definitely.
I mean, that guy
Can you imagine how much ice cream he's going to eat if he's on the top of the podium?
Oh my gosh, we had a lot yesterday.
He already had a lot.
I think you guys might own a Baskin Robbins after that one or a Cold Stone because, dude, it's going to be so much hype.
Yeah.
Douglas Allen, we definitely weren't trying to avoid you, dude. It's just such a long show. We're going on 3 hours now, and I know the girls and I, we got to get off right now. I got to produce the show still, and they got to do all their stuff too. But the whole race overall, how did you guys feel?
Honestly, I had the time of my life. With this being like my first legit race in turbo, in the Pro Turbo class, I mean, Matt, my co-driver, and I, we were talking about it. This is the most fun we've ever had. I've never passed so many people in my life.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
It's
Like,
so much fun.
It was so much fun. Just like the course itself was fun. You know, getting to battle it out with all these different people was fun.
Yeah.
And just the community in general was
just
fun.
the whole vibe of the Mint 400, from the parade to tech to the race to hearing everybody's stories. It's just a cool event. That's
why we do it.
Have you guys talked a lot about the same stories that like what we've heard tonight from all of our guests? Like the same with your family? You've been talking to them about it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally the whole day after the race, we hung out with our pit crew and we just shared our stories, and it's just memories that they can take home. We take home.
Yeah.
That makes me smile so much. I love that, dude. It's so cool. All right. Well, give a shout out to the people that helped you so we can wind it down.
Huge shout out to my mom and dad. Those are like my biggest supporters, my family, my pit crew, my co-driver, my sponsors, Polaris Razor, Fox, Toyo, all my big guys, little guys. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do.
Shout out to Starbucks and Vans.
Shout out to
Hopefully
Starbucks.
we can get that sponsorship pretty quick here. All right, Maddie, you go.
I would just like to thank my co-driver, Matt. He did great, and my dad. They both, the three of us put in a lot of work to convert my car to turbo and to get it as ready as we could for this race. And my whole team they flew from all over just to come to this race to help me out. So I just have to thank my team, everyone who came out to support me, and obviously all my sponsors who make this happen.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And I know that sometimes it gets old. People think like, oh, I got to thank my team. But really, like, it is. Like, it's a massive effort. I always tell everybody, like, when I was racing dirt bikes, like, I could clean a dirt bike in like about half an hour. Like, I was thinking, okay, I'll get into side-by-side racing. It'll just be double the work because it's 2 more wheels. It's not. It's like fucking 10, 15 times much more work.
Yeah.
So you really do need a team.
I mean, we literally had 20 people there, and every single person did something on race day. I mean, I even have my grandparents there, and they're still in charge of something. Like,
nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, and I know Sierra can relate, she has a big team because they have 2 cars,
Yeah.
It's a team that makes this happen. It is not just the driver.
Yeah, and when people say it takes a village, it literally takes a village to get to the finish line. It's not just you and your co-driver. It takes so many people to make it happen.
Dude, yeah, I love it so much. All right, so you guys can, thank you guys very much. Like,
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
you guys did a fantastic job, and you brought Starbucks, dude. Like,
We don't go anywhere without our Starbucks.
I know. We couldn't even leave Temecula without
We had to have spares of Starbucks. Like,
I
that's
made
how
so
bad
much
it
fun
is.
of Maddie the first time, but now I can see why. You know what I mean? Like, so, what did they call me? A basic now?
Yeah, basic.
All right, so we want to thank all you guys for joining us. You guys are our lifeblood. We really appreciate everything. So we actually have a sponsor deals page on the dirtlifeshow.com. You can go over there. You can actually take some lessons from Alex Stryler and figure out how to get sponsors for yourself. It's real easy. He'd guide you through the whole process, and there's also some deals there. You can click on all of the people that support us, get some sponsor deals going for your guys' program. Even if you don't race, you guys can go get discounts on all their products. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and we want to give back to you guys. Next week's show it's going to be a pretty cool show for me, actually, because I just started getting into off-road like right about 5 years ago now, and it's been around for a long, long time. So we're going to have a history of off-road, kind of, going back to like what Rod Hall had. Rod Hall had a documentary by Amy Lerner, and she's going to come on the show. Bob Bauer, who was also hosting the Mint 400, he's just a dictionary or an encyclopedia of off-road knowledge. So I'll probably just ask like 1 or 2 questions and then just be the sponge, like the co-driver and the youngster that all these other people are, because I want to hear about how rad off-road was, and I feel like they're going to tell me a lot that I didn't know. So you guys should definitely tune in to the history of off-road next Monday. Thank you to everyone at the Mint 400 for having us, too, for putting on such a great event for all the racers like Maddie, Sierra, and everybody that joined us. It was really cool to be part of that broadcast team as well. I had such a great time. And you know what? Even if I wasn't a broadcaster, I would have had a great time because I took some time out to go walk around through the pits and to hang out and like in the vendors area and stuff. And it was just an amazing time. Like, I got to talk with so many cool people, shake hands, and I just don't even know how to talk about that experience, because you can't do that if you're sitting on the couch.
You just have to be there and see it for yourself.
Dude, 100%.
I definitely wish that there were more races with that much attraction.
Yeah, the intensity level and the vibe and everything was just so good, man. So, yeah, kudos to the Mint 400 and Matt Martelli and all his team for putting that all together. Like, I could probably mention 1,000 people and still miss one person. So thank you to everybody. Like I said, we really appreciate all you guys for joining us. You guys are our lifeblood. Slide into our DMs, Allen Motorsports, Douglas Allen. Please slide into our DMs. We could try to talk to you a little bit. Thanks, Wes, Roma Motorsports, everybody. We really appreciate everything. We got a bunch of comments that we weren't able to answer tonight, but we really appreciate all you guys. I feel like we need like 3 more Mint 400 shows because there's so much to talk about, but we love you guys. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for enjoying your dirt life with us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Dirt Life Show. See you next week.